Thor's just licking a blanket. Just a second. Just licking a blanket. Cause it's Wednesday night and the feeling's right.
Party's here on the website.
I gotta put some music on this so it's less awkward.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that'd be nice. It should be the man comes around.
Don't.
There's a man going around passing out censors. And YouTube is going to knock down Wham's wieners.
There's a count ticking down from 2.
We used to have some kind of opening for that podcast that we did forever ago. But I mean, we could never get away with it now.
Yes. Oh, Thor, leave me alone, buddy. Go play. Go play. Oh, yeah. Van Thomason said, who gave this video a thumbs down? Who's the troll? Van,
got that one.
Every video we do, some guy with no fucking life just goes, damn it, I screwed it up. Well, then we made it through a full minute anyways. But
did we? Oh,
yes,
yeah. Well, I don't.
Some guy goes and clicks the second we release a video and dislikes it because
it's amazing, though, that kind of dedication. I mean, you wish that you could be in a relationship with someone like that because, I mean, they fucking like are on it every time.
Of it. And we're inside of you this Wednesday night. Welcome back to We Watch the Movie, guys. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
It's like a shitty curtain drop.
I'm always delayed. I'm always delayed anyway, so I always still see the counter, and I'm like, "Fuck."
I gotta make a note to try to figure out how we can take that delay away.
It's just on my end. It's not a big. It doesn't bother me at all.
Something we can do about it. I hope you guys are having an amazing evening this evening, and we haven't seen you guys since Friday night. It's been Saturday. Can't read the 4 days.
So let's pick it back up. Fuck you, Mike. I fucking hate everything fucking about you. You don't know shit about football at all.
LeBron just sucks.
Where we last left off. Did Mike and Jay recover?
Oh man, that shit was funny. Yeah, I know. Saw some people were like, "Do they know the camera's off?"
You know what? For a second there, it was so funny because we were doing that, and it almost felt like we forgot. Because I know, like, if I were watching, I'd be like, "Those assholes don't know they left the camera rolling." But I knew it was. But it was just one of those things. You get so caught up in the moment of what you're talking about that you're like, "I don't fucking care." Whatever.
Yeah. Apologies to the guy that was like, he said something like, I forgot what it was. Like, you know, guys got to stop with the sports content. And I was like, dude, it was the 4th hour of a stream and we were just talking about our shit, and he was like, no, that's not what I meant. He was like, you guys get so mad at each other. So he was joking around. So
oh yeah,
sorry to that guy. I was like shut the fuck, I will talk about what you want.
Yeah, we actually don't get mad. Like, it just seems like we do. Like, yeah. I swear to God, like afterwards we'll just be like, I don't know, man. Anyway, do you want this beer? Like, literally in the middle of an argument. Like we could legit have an argument and be like, dude, I don't fucking understand why the hell you're acting like this, because you're acting like you got a tampon. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna get beer. You want? I was like, yeah, I'll take 2. Anyway, man, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's just how we talk to each other when we're talking about sports. And it's weird because if we're talking about something serious, we won't fight like that. I mean, most times we won't fight like that. But maybe that's where, like, guys, a lot of times, and I'm sure ladies too, but you take out your aggressions. Like, you could be a completely normal person, like you know, politically correct, every day, hey, how you doing kind of guy. And then that guy goes to like a sports game and he's like trying to punch people in the face and shit. I think sports are like a release for some people to get out their other anxieties, you know?
Well, yeah, it's like, you could take Ned Flanders to a fucking baseball game and he turns into Ogre John.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Ogre John, we just recorded 2 commentaries the other night on Monday that are going to be coming out as the weeks unfold. One for a movie called Bloody New Year, which you guys have got to see.
Crazy time.
Wait to watch it with us. I promise us talking over it will not make you miss anything. It is fan-fucking-tastic if you've never seen it. It'll be for free on YouTube. That'll be this Saturday night's movie commentary. And then the following Saturday after, we've got a full movie commentary for Adam Wingard's You're Next.
Yeah,
which was fun too. Yeah, it was a good night, man. Gypsy Warrior says, thanks for this first super chat of the night, buddy. Quit wasting my grind. She says, I can't believe someone else requested the Warriors director's cut. LOL. I really hope you guys enjoy the Wonders. Your guys' good vibes keep me going. That's Gypsy Warriors request is for the Wonders. Never seen it, never heard of it till you mentioned it, man. So we are looking forward to it.
The Oneaters.
What?
The Oneaters.
Is that how you say it, really?
No, that's from that thing you do. He's like, we're the Oneaters. Give it up for the Wonders. It goes, it's the Oneaters. That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm a wonder. That's that song from that game.
A Wonder Man. I don't know.
Something like that, for sure. Hey, what did everybody do this weekend? Did you guys have a good weekend? What did you do this weekend?
I didn't do a goddamn thing. Dude, I've been obsessed with those fucking JRPGs again. It gets in my blood, Captain, and I can't get it out. I literally have been grinding. That's what they call it, like leveling up my character on those JRPGs. Like I'm raising my levels to top notch, and so I could like on disc 1, dude. I'll spend like 12 hours, and I'll be like the most unstoppable force by the end of the like mid game. But then I watch some like I don't know, look here and there. I watch those Karen freak out videos or true crime shit now and again. Then we also watched that body language person on Amber Turd. He apparently analyzes the Amber Turd's her testimony and basically just calls her a fucking liar. He's like, God, you could just tell. But I was like, you don't even need to be an expert body language. Ray Charles could see she's fucking lying. Because dude, she's like eating her snacks and stuff. Yeah. And he's like, clearly you can see that she doesn't want to be there. I was like, what gave it away? Her rolling her eyes or fucking stuffing her goddamn face with like crackers? I don't know which one gave it away. But it's like, yeah, it was like, I watched that, but it was like, it just made me mad. And then he's like, when she does this, when she's doing this, she's pausing for time so she can think up a lie. I'm like, fucking yeah.
I mean, you does that a lot.
What? Yeah, but this is like she was eating her food and she goes, okay. Actually, what happened? I was like, yeah, you just fought up a whole fucking script.
That's like that Chris guy that killed his kids or whatever. When he was, see the tapes of him in the room. He's like, actually, it was my dad. It was my mom. It was her.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's just making up shit. It's so obvious. Hey, Vanessa Moreno, thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Vanessa's fucking awesome. You didn't have to do that. She says, hey, guys, my mom is here visiting from Colombia for a while. Holy shit, that's a long ways away.
Colombia. Did she bring some coffee?
What he means by coffee is coffee. It's her first time watching a live stream, and she has become a Wham fam.
All right.
If she can get a shout out, her name is Flora. Love you guys. Hey, Flora.
Flora, all the way from Colombia. How you fucking doing?
She stole my cat. Her name is Flora. No, that's awesome. Congrats to you guys. I tell her that we apologize for all the offensive, horrible things that we're going to say to offend your mom tonight, Vanessa. Because
it happens. Like, you know, the wind blows and the offensive jokes come.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, Vanessa's mom, Flora, but your daughter is an intricate part of what we do here. She's fucking cool, and everybody loves her, and she's the coolest, and she's awesome. So you should be a proud mom. Absolutely.
Vanessa's badass.
Absolutely. Or once you're done with this live stream, you might be disappointed in her. So we'll see how that goes.
She's like, you could do so much better with your life, Vanessa. For Jesus Christ, wasting time on those two fools. I was like, I know.
I could literally hear them getting fatter. Brandon Barry, thanks, buddy. Says, what's your guys' thoughts on Rob Zombie directing the new Munsters movie? Well, that's part of the news we're going to talk about tonight, so we'll save that till we get right into the news part, but we will talk about it. He says, I think this could be his house with a clock in its walls, like Eli Roth. What's popping
What's happening now?
Did he say what's happening now? I thought I said
what's popping I don't know. I always remember that one. It was that one now that I'm a fly guy and a fly house, wanna know why fly by? But yo, it's all good. Range Rover, all wood. Do be like, that's all I remember from that. That's a separate song, but yeah.
Hey, that original Nelly album was fucking fire, dude. That was a great, like, you know, if you lived in our time, that's what you listened to going to parties and stuff. Smoking a J with the windows.
It was always funny to see people rolling up in their Abercrombie and Fitch and Mercedes Benz in front of the high school and getting out listening to that shit. I was like, you don't know nothing about that life.
Thanks, Brandon. And we will talk about that news that you mentioned. Gypsy Warrior says, I've been drunk since Sunday.
Oh, shit.
I've been drunk since Sunday. My soccer team, Glasgow Rangers, won our 55th championship. That sounds like a Patriots fan right there. I'm surprised you even drink anymore. You're probably like, why didn't we win it by 2 touchdowns? Nothing ever pleases me.
Did you walk out like Tom Brady drunk and be like, I don't even know what football is?
I did love it when Tom Brady did that.
I couldn't blame that guy, man. He won a championship. Fuck it. Like, let loose. Have some fun. Get soaked up. Dude, it was funny as hell because you could have asked him anything at that point. Be like, would you cheat on your wife? Like, I already did 3 times. I'm like, oh.
Giselle! Yeah, dude, that was so funny when he was walking out there and he was just like shit-faced trash. And he had that one friend who was trying to be good to him. Oh, that it was a publicist that was trying not to get him to ruin his life. He was like holding his arms and like holding him up and keeping him. And Brady was like, I'll talk to you guys. What's up?
Yeah, I think some people were giving him shit for doing that.
They
I was
were.
like, dude, who cares, man? He won the championship. He's quarterback. Like who cares?
Let him party.
I was like, I've been there before. You have somebody, your friend, like carry you drunkenly in, and you act like an asshole, and you're like smiling where you're like, I was like, that bro is having a great time.
And I don't, and just to circle back to last week's, I actually don't hate Tom Brady. I like and admire Tom Brady. I just think, I think he's overrated as far as being the absolute greatest of all time. But I mean, dude, that's like saying, oh, I like you, dude, but you're not Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean you can't like or respect the guy. I just don't,
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole different conversation. But Austin says, y'all hear Rob Zombie's making Munsters reboot? God damn.
Yeah.
We're not
I've heard that in the news.
we will get to that. We will talk about that, I promise. As the news goes on tonight, the Rusty Lion says, "Good day, kind sirs, and good day to you, rub-a-dub-dub."
Apollo has lifted his skirt. The day is launched.
It's weird. We get to Wednesdays, and I'm like, I start fiending for this live chat interaction. You know what I mean? It feels like it's been 10 years since we've done it.
It really was, because we didn't do anything on Monday. I wasn't feeling it, so I couldn't go up there and do unboxing. But we did some commentaries, like Mike said. But yeah, it was weird when you don't have a live stream on Monday, and then it's like, where have all our cowboys gone? God, shave your armpits. Paula Cole.
That's a great song.
I swear, dude, that was the one thing I noticed when I was a kid and I watched that music video, is when she was doing it and she was singing about where all the cowboys have gone. It's like, probably go get you a razor. Like, good God.
I had a big weekend myself.
You go to Home Depot?
Yeah, I cleaned my garage. That's where I was going, actually. It literally was. Cleaned my garage, went to the car wash. Cleaned my wife's car. I cleaned the shit out of the garage, though. I mean, I cleaned it. It was looking good. It was looking fucking fancy, dude. It looked awesome. Yeah. And then, that's, I've been watching more Halt and Catch Fire. I can't tell if it's getting Halt and Catch Fire. It's like the best show that nobody ever talks about. Watched a little bit of Entourage. Entourage is a great show. It's fun to watch after streams too, because you don't really have to
still have not watched that.
Got to do it, man. I even texted you. I was like, please watch it right now. And you're like,
I know, but I got you on one, and then I got Cody on the other, being like, dude, please watch Ray Donovan. Yeah. Please do whatever you do, watch it. Like, I was like, dude, the world's not gonna collapse. I'll get to it.
I did watch Boss Level. Boss Level. I did not watch. Did you finish WandaVision yet?
No, I'm waiting. I already know what's gonna happen now, because I should have watched it right when it came out, but Facebook was just plastered with what. I was like, son of a bitch. Yeah. But I got to finish that last episode.
Yeah, whenever you if you want to finish it, maybe before Friday, then you can review it on the show, because I'm not going to watch it the whole thing by then. But no, okay. I watched Boss Level, which is a new movie with Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Woo, buddy. Woo, buddy.
Yeah, Cody asked. I remember that group message that we had. Cody was asking what that movie was.
It's awesome, dude. Basically, he just wakes up, he's in the middle of a video game, and 1,000 hitmen are trying to kill him. And then he has to figure out why. Every time he dies, he goes back, he wakes up, and dude's in his bed trying to kill him. Not in his bed. He's in his bed, and a dude's, and it's just, dude, Frank Grillo has gotten stacked. He's fucking huge, and he is badass, and he's Deadpool level funny in this movie, too. Like, at one point, he's trying to, like, save his kid or whatever, and somebody shoots him, and he's like, I fucking forgot about the stupid fucking bus. And he's like, die, motherfucker, already. Jesus Christ, just die. He's just waiting on himself to die.
So he's like in a video game.
Well, it's real life. Like, you're watching it real life, but every single time he dies, the screen comes up. It's like attempt number 422 to like.
I was gonna say it's not like that shitty one Gamer that came out.
No. It's way fucking.
That movie could have been badass.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the good version of that movie, and he's a badass in this movie. Frank Grillo is on his way to the top.
You can always tell Frank Grillo had that body type, though, to look like he had the potential to be swelled up, real fucking like hardcore. Like, he already looked like that. Yeah,
he's always been in great shape, but dude, he is fucking ripped in this movie. He's huge. It's awesome. Good for him. And
steroids can be fun, can't they?
I spent a lot of my time reaching out, getting trying to get interviews, getting denied by a lot of people. It was funny because John Carpenter's people literally, like, normally when people say no, they come up with an excuse. Normally they have an excuse. They're like, oh, well, he's busy filming this right now, but thank you for your inquiry. If they respond at all. John Carpenter's people responded, and you know what they said?
Fuck
Thank
off,
you.
kid. You
Thank
got
you.
no cal.
They said thank you, but John's not interested. I was like, oh,
You know what? I don't blame him. I feel like that.
I
You
wouldn't
know, if I saw us like our ugly faces and like we were like, hey, can you come be on our show? I'd be like, fuck no.
As soon as he sees that opening, it's like,
I was like,
goddamn
those are the
weirdos.
kind of guys that in the 60s I'd dunk their head in the toilet because they're nerds and I
Yeah.
don't like them.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
No, but it didn't get.
I mean,
He's probably busy. He's probably.
Oh, I never expected it. It's kind of like I feel like a dog chasing cars. I don't know what
You
to do
know-
if I actually caught one.
You know who we could get though?
Who?
We get old Bill Cosby from the prison center.
We have
Talk about Jello.
We'll have a scared straight week. We'll get Bill Cosby. We'll get the Tiger King. You know. We'll
Yeah,
get,
he's like, did you know that when you put the Jello in the hole, that she was gonna rat on your face?
Oh man, spent some time looking for cards. By the way, you know what I saw at a flea market, dude? These people had O.J. Simpson playing cards, and I had to look it up because it's like that's got to be worth something. It's
Is
not,
that like
but
legit playing cards, like poker and shit?
like the juice playing cards? Yeah, like or like stat cards. I don't know what they're.
I see what
look
you're
too
saying, like
deeply into it,
Magic
yeah.
the Gathering shit.
No, I went hunting for VHSs, dude. I found the mother load of shitty JCVD tapes because I'm trying to collect the whole Jean-Claude collection on VHS for the background here. And it was a mother load. It was all shit movies. Not shit movies, but not his main movies. But those ones are easier to find. I went to the Peddler's Mall in Lexington, dude, and I found Knockoff. I found Maximum Risk. I found The Quest.
Those suck.
I
Those
found
are terrible movies.
but they're the harder ones to find, right? Because they're not. I found Double Team with him and Dennis Rodman.
Ooh, I can smell that fucking turd from here.
Oh yeah, man. I found some. I found some Arnold Schwarzenegger. I found Raw Deal, which you don't see a lot.
Raw Deal. I remember that.
Yeah, I found like 20 of them, man.
Dude, I
posted
gave
it on
up. I gave
Instagram.
up on. I'm not saying nothing about JCVD, but dude, there was like a block of time where he just came out with the biggest runny turds of movies I've ever seen. Like they were just diarrheic. Like it started with The Quest. It looked cool on the cover. It looks like it's gonna be like a kickboxer blood sport story, and then it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
When you put that in.
And the way you said it's perfect because none of it. It's not disparaging against JCVD because he's good in every fucking movie. He's good in every movie. It's just they put him in shit ass movies, man.
Well, at least he's and I got to give it up for him too because he did that reality, or I think he did some kind of reality show, and he's stretching his comedic wings. He's doing more than Seagal does.
Yeah,
Seagal's just like, I got my donuts and I got my movies. I write my scripts and I'm the greatest of all time.
He still thinks he's like I could start for the Packers right now.
If you ask him, he's like, you think you're better than JCVD? He was like, did JCVD ever create his own Aikido?
No. He's even more disrespectful. That he's like, don't make me laugh.
No, dude, that one interview was cringy. He was like, Michael Jai White being your partner. He's like, can I laugh in your face? JCVD, can I laugh in your face?
I don't think.
And he was like,
Steve
what about
Seagal
Chuck Norris? He was
ever
like,
laughed.
oh, Chuck's getting up there. I was like, dude, you cannot tell me that you think all these guys that were listed are bullshit artists.
Yeah.
And that they would never be able to handle themselves in a legit street fight. He said Michael Jai White sucked. He said JCVD didn't really win tournaments. I was like, it's on record. He fucking won tournaments. And then he's like, only one he gave respect to was Chuck Norris, Jet Li, and Jackie Chan, which those guys are great, but that's the only ones that he thought were good.
Yeah. It's like, what'd you do? What'd you do that's so fucking great?
He tripped and fell into a fucking lard pit. What happened? What happened, Seagal?
Jossie Russell says, sup, home slices. Love you guys. Glasgow Rangers suck, by the way. Ooh, we got a fight going on in the super chats.
Oh,
it's actually
if you go talk about football, you're fucked.
Oh, he says it's actually their first title, not their 55th. Oh, okay. Well, hey, good for them. Good for them. Respect to all their fans because, as we all know, you got to root for the people that don't have 78 titles already, no matter how handsome they are and freely drunk they get in Tampa Bay. What?
You can get as drunk as you want in Tampa Bay. Party with them hotties. Welcome to Miami.
Gypsy Warrior says it's actually a really cool story. 10 years ago, we went bankrupt and got kicked down to the amateur leagues. We fought our way back to former glory. Okay, so they're old. Like it's like the Packers, dude. Hey, you say what you want about the Patriots, but the Packers have more NFL titles than any other franchise by far. But it was just
the one
before
that
it became the
titles
NFL.
Is UK. Kentucky basketball is where it's at. It shines bright blue.
Actually, UCLA has the NCAA men's record for
well, they cheated, so it doesn't matter.
Oh shit!
But then again, they got away. I can't say no. If you're a UCLA fan, I'm just kidding. But I mean, back in those days when you had Rupp and that guy too. Everybody cheated. They just nobody. It wasn't like it was like a big thing, but they did it better than us. So, but we do have more titles than anybody in the SEC combined in basketball. That's true. SEC championships.
Yeah, not this year. Actually, tomorrow, the SEC tourney starts, and technically, mine and your NCAA tournament starts tomorrow because Kentucky has to win that tournament to get in. And they play tomorrow.
I've been so far behind them. I don't even watch them because they've been garbage.
We're buttholes suckage.
I know.
I don't not watch them because they suck. I don't watch them a lot during the regular season anymore because I don't know any of the fucking players because they're all goddamn high school kids. You know, it's weird. Yeah. Gypsy Warrior says, don't listen to Josh Shells because we're back on top. I love it. Dirk Jason Hall, glad to be a Patreon now, bros. Hey, welcome, my friend.
Sweet.
To the Patreon. I hope
Clubhouse
you enjoy
is at your disposal.
The tidings.
We've got all sorts of cheese whiz for you to suck on, dude.
Full reach arounds. All the way around. Yeah, man. So, all right, we can start with the news now. We got a fresh 200.
Hey, Mike, did you hear about Rob Zombie? Rob Zombie might be directing the Munsters.
I think we should start with that one, Jay. I think we should. I think that's a good idea.
I felt like when I heard this news, the first thing I said is I felt like Indiana Jones would when he was trying to get the Coronado Cross. He's like, it belongs in a museum. Go, sorry, I was like, keep it away from him. Don't do it. But then I was thinking about it more, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe because apparently he's a super freak when it comes to the Munsters. Like, he loves it. So
yeah. So here's the story here. I'll pull it up. The Munsters movie cometh from Rob Zombie and Universal. Now, this is on Movie Web, and this is sort of, I mean, it's more of a rumor than anything else. It's not official yet. But basically, the rumor is Rob Zombie will write and direct. That's a scary thought. The Munsters.
I didn't know he was going to write.
A new movie based on the classic sitcom with Sherry Moon Zombie, of course. Playing Lily.
She rode that unicorn all the way to the fucking bank.
Says per the report, Rob Zombie has also called upon some of his frequent collaborators to play main roles in the rumored movie. His real life wife, and consistently, obviously, is Lily Munster, the matriarch of the family. While Lords of Salem and 3 from Hell star Jeff Daniel Phillips will play her husband Herman. Daniel Roebuck and Richard Brake, 2 other actors who also often appear in Zombie's movies, have been cast in undisclosed roles alongside Jorge Garcia and Cassandra Patterson. But you know, it's like, I don't know, like, you know, it comes from Murphy's Multiverse, which I've seen do a couple scoops that have not yet fleshed out. I don't know, but their scoops do get carried, so maybe they have had some stuff pan out. I don't know. It's hard to tell these days with the internet if that's real or not.
I think it's one of those things, like, in one universe, I'm like, yeah, that kind of fucking sucks. But in the other universe, I don't know. I'm kind of caught. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, I don't really care. I don't think it'll be that. You know, but we could be surprised here. I mean, you know, we all like. I don't think he's gonna have Grandpa Munster butt fucking a corpse in the backyard or something and be like, I gotta fuck her to get the blood out. You know what I'm saying? And then Herman Munster walks in all fucking drunk off tequila and be like, where's that stupid bitch? I'll skull fuck the shit out you.
That's literally what I was gonna say. I'll skull fuck the shit out you.
I don't think it's gonna be like that. I mean, and, you know, Universal's got to have some kind of confidence in him. And according to one of the things I saw was Howard Stern had said that he knew that Rob Zombie was such a huge freak for the Munsters that he even gave him like some kind of collectible Munster thing. So maybe he has so much respect for it. He's not going to write it like shit. I don't know. But it's so weird, dude. Like, you know who I don't know why I thought of this. I already thought they did a remake of the movie, or they did a remake of the show that was a movie or something. I thought the dude that played Well, I thought the dude that played Ray Romano's brother in the TV show Everybody Loves Raymond was fucking Herman Munster. Like, I thought that. For some reason I was like, oh yeah, they've already done that before, so they're rebooting it.
Maybe it was, but that never happened. They tried. I don't know. Because
I don't know. That guy looks like the Herman Munster, the guy from Ray Romano's show. But yeah, man, I don't know.
Fever dream you had one night.
Might have been. I was all sweaty and thinking about green Frankenstein cocks, and his face popped up. But yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't know, man. As long as he stays the fuck away from Halloween, he can do whatever. He can let his dick fly for as long as he wants. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm not a Munsters guy. I don't know much at all about the Munsters. Full frontal male nudity, which you'll probably get in this film. But
here's the thing. You know, they only ran for 2 seasons. It's weird. It's so popular, but they only ran 2 seasons.
Yeah, they brought it back in syndication, and then it got popular. But
yeah,
I think that there's no way in Fucktown from Peyote, Kansas, that Universal would look at Rob Zombie and be like, "Hey, you want to make a fucking standard Rob Zombie film that's like fucking nasty and fat titties and like just lots of beards?
You gotta milk them."
maybe some rape, because we know you love rape. We love rape too, Rob. It'll be great. Come down to Universal, take this old classic, like sort of family show, make it into one of your films. It'll be fucking awesome. Dracula, hell yeah. That didn't happen. So one of two things happened, or one of three things happened. One, it's completely not true. Two, Rob Zombie actually is going to make it one of his type of films, but he's got a fucking amazing idea for it that's going to blow people's dicks off. And he brought that to Universal, and they're like, "That I hate your guts, but that's so fucking good. We're going to do it." Or C, they came to Rob, or Rob came to them, and they decided together, we're going to make this family friendly, right? We're going to do it. We're going to do it this way, right? And Rob said, absolutely. And they said, if you don't, we're fucking shutting you down. And he said, okay. And they actually mutually agreed that this is going to be Rob's first non-fucked up wild ass in the butthole film, because maybe Rob has secretly been wanting to do a film where he's not like, fuck shit, goddamn shit, fucking pew pew. You know what I mean? Right.
I think it's probably, I think you got a blend of, Universal knows they're not going to let Rob Zombie come in and butt fuck one of their beloved franchises like the Munsters. People love the Munsters for a reason. They're not going to let that happen. I mean, Halloween was a different story. Rob Zombie's Halloween, that he had to work within a structure that they gave him. They're like, you can't fucking step over this line now. Okay, I'm gonna give you one rape scene, but that's all I give you. That's it. But they get everything else maintained its thing. Yeah. The Munsters themselves, they're a lighthearted family comedy show about the weirdness of a family that moves in, and it's almost a film or a show about, you know, accepting of others, you know, despite what they look like. Don't judge a book by its cover. I think that Rob Zombie might go in there with like understanding that. Like, I really don't think they're not going to drop a fucking like movie where it's going to be like, it's rated R for extreme violence and vulgarity. Yeah. You know, even though a lot of, you know, people have always had that, you know, thought like, I want to see Mama Munster pop a tit out. She wears those nice little dresses and shit, but I want to suck on him. But no, you know, maybe you know, he keeps it within the vein of what they're going for, with just a new modern take on it, which actually he would be perfect for if he can settle his cock down and not get all offended when people's like, don't put this in there. It's like, I'm gonna put fucking buckets of blood and dicks in it. Just you wait.
I want buckets of dicks.
You know why he gets mad like that? Because he watches shit like assholes like us, and then he gets mad about it, and he's like, now I'm gonna make it the worst fucking movie they've ever seen. He gets all like Human Centipede director.
That's what he did with Halloween 2. He literally said, I got fucking pissed, not literally, but he said basically, I said, I got pissed off at fucking Halloween fans, and I said, fuck it, I'm doing some wild shit. That's what Halloween 2 was. By the way,
I wanted to make this very clear with people, because they always think that we fucking hate Rob Zombie. I don't hate Rob Zombie. What makes me mad is it's like that Varsity Blues thing. And I've said this before. You're the smartest dumb kid I've ever met in my life when the coach is talking to him, because you have such potential to be so much better than you are, but your fucking bullshit gets in your face. You constantly have to cast your wife. Hey, you're real sweet, man. You don't have to get her nothing for Valentine's Day, but goddamn, stop fucking casting her in everything you do. You can go out on a limb and do something badass without having to resort to just barbaric fucking moronic vulgarity without any kind of context for it. My point being is he's great at shooting like or getting the shot. It looks fucking amazing, but then he executes it like shit. Like he's half drunk on crack, and he doesn't know what a camera is, except that maybe it's something that he can see the future with. I don't know.
It's the writing. It's all the writing. It's all what happens on the screen, not how it's presented. It's presented well. He does a great job with that, but the way it's written, and every character is a piece of shit, and you hate everybody, and like it's not enjoyable at all. You know, because it's like just someone just showing you their fucking toilet water. Hey, look at my toilet water. Hey, I'm trying to have a beer with you. Hey, look at my grass.
It's like you took a big dump, and then that turd is halfway sticking out the toilet. You get all your neighbors to come over and look at it. Yeah. Hey man, look how big this shit is, man. And then posting it on Instagram.
Yeah. The thing about us here to watch a ball game. All right. I'm tired of looking at your diarrhea.
Yeah. He's like, hey man, look at my turd. Have you ever seen it? It looks like a graboid. Like, yeah, but the thing is, I don't know. I think that Rob Zombie could be a really, really good director. And I honestly, on paper, it sounds great. Rob Zombie's Halloween, and it was good. You know, the first one was decent, except for the 35 minutes part of it, the first part of it. Yeah. But then he just went off the fucking rails and, you know, did what Rob Zombie does. But I think that the Munsters will be good if he stays within, you know, the lane that Universal lays out for it, and I'm sure they will. They're not going to let him ruin that. Like, they're not going to make it gross and fucking like unsolved mystery. It's not going to be so bad that Robert Stack is going to come back from his grave and be like, update.
Yeah.
People don't know what happened to the actors on set. Like,
well, yeah, and at the same time, I mean, as you said, Rob Zombie is a noted fan of the Munsters and the way it was, so he doesn't want to fuck with that, maybe, and maybe Universal understands that, and I'm sure they at least had to have one fucking guy, one Ari Gold, go in there and be like, just be straight with me, Rob. No fucking, no sucking, and no touching. None of it. None of it. I
can promise you on the last two, but the other one I don't know.
Yeah, if he is directing the Munsters, it's got to be. He's got to like fucking ironclad contract. You're not going to be fucking gross. You're going to do this straight up, and maybe that is something for Rob to prove. Hey, look, I did this. I don't always have to be fucking down with the sickness. I can just do a fucking movie.
You gotta get Disturbed to do the soundtrack.
yeah. Maybe he can, and I hope he does. I hope he can go and he can show off his talents and do something without having to be so goddamn fucking metal, man. Like, we get it. You're cool. You know what I mean? Like, just play nice, you know? And maybe that's
he always seems like he's constantly out to prove something. I'm like, dude, you've already made it. I mean, you're a respected musical artist. I mean, you've got great movies under your belt. Just stop being a fucking, hey, take off your dress and stop having a tea party for yourself. Fucking nut up and stop. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's like you constantly have to prove that you're not like, I'm not just a music guy. I'm goddamn artist. We know. I can see your beard from here with the little twirly things in it. I know that you are. Somebody put on Facebook, and I was like, it's so true. It's hard not to see him that way. He looks like a budget Randy Macho Man Savage with what he wears, or like a rock and roll Macho Man Savage. And I'm down with it. I don't mind what he looks like. It's just the fact. What pisses me off is the fact that he can be so good, and he chooses to be a turd sandwich.
How cool would it be if he was like, if his movies were like Quentin Tarantino level good, and he dressed and acted and rocked his face off the way that he does. I like the whole cut of Rob Zombie's jib. I like his fucking look and all that shit. I like his music. I like his songs. I root for, like we said, we root for him. We do. It's just that we want him to just use his talent and stop trying to impress sixth graders, who burn ants in their basement. That's all we're trying to say.
Yeah. People never make fun of me when I play D&D again. Die, ants! Yeah, I like D&D, so I'm not making fun of that at all. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think I saw someone in the comments were talking about the Addams Family. I could see it being like the Addams Family a little bit, maybe a little bit harder edged than the Addams Family, maybe. And if they do that, that's fine. I like the Addams Family. I thought the movies were pretty good. Even the Addams Family Value was pretty good. So
a lot of subtlety there, though. A lot of hints at darker things, but never going that way. And it's almost the exact opposite of what Rob Zombie's known for. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a test of whether or not he's able to. Because again, it's going to be a complicated story if Universal is going to hold. Like I think I don't know, Tomo Gato or somebody else said it. They're going to hold him on a leash. It's going to be interesting to see how well he does on that leash. Because if he snaps, if that goddamn Razorback Bill gets mad, your fucking movie is gonna be garbage can, sweet cream of pea. It's gonna be nasty. Because they're gonna get a daily. The studios are gonna get a daily, and it's gonna be like Sherry Mood Zombie climbing up the wall, like butt fucking like some kind of bedpost or something, and then a unicorn flies in, and Herman Munster runs over, and he's dressed as a lady. And you're like, what the fuck? And he's like, it's my vision. Everything comes to Elm Street. I don't know.
Not a cock, I swear. Crying shit. That's all that fucker does.
If that guy had been cast, I'd be like, all right, well, you might as well just do
William Forsythe, yeah.
William Forsythe.
Oh, shit. Jessica Castoldi. I love your name, by the way. Just fucking rolls off the tongue. Jay, will you please do a few iconic Jack Burton lines as Slender Man? Thanks. You guys are my favorite channel. You're my favorite channel.
Jack Burton. Yeah. China is here, Mr. Button. What the hell do that even mean? China is here. Me don't even know what that means. All me know is this Lo Pan character shows up downtown, him buddy flying all around, chopping people up, and him sitting in the middle street, waiting for me to drive through him with light coming out of his mouth. What? You just remember what old Jack Button said when he grabs you by the throat and presses you against the table. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail.
That's the one I was waiting for. So good. Edward Santiago says the Munsters should be directed by Del Toro. Guillermo del Toro. The last reboot was good. 1313 Mockingbird Laid, but it was directed by Bryan Singer. Oh, and I think that's the one that had Jerry O'Connell in it. I think what I read.
Guillermo del Toro would be a good one.
Yeah, yeah, that would be far more. That would make.
I actually,
place a lot.
I don't even know the guy that directed the Addams Family would have been a good guy to pick.
Yeah.
I don't even know that guy's name, but he would have been perfect.
Yeah, and they're doing their animated thing with that right now. Dirk Jason Law says, "Do you remember a rumor that Eddie Munster was King Diamond?" Total bullshit. Laughing my ass off. I don't know who King Diamond is.
That sounds like a guy that was a wrestler but decided to become a porn star instead.
It sounds like a guy that you face at the $2-4 raised table at your local shitty casino. It's like, have a seat right here. Who's your opponent tonight? It's like King Diamond. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, King Diamond also sounds like if you were playing the old school NES Mike Tyson's Punch Out, he's the guy that you have to fight right before Soda Pop. King Diamond. Woo. He spits. Watch out.
Oh shit! Salads in a Winnebago gray storm. You know what I mean? I don't know what that was supposed to mean. I get nuts.
Winnebago's, man. I can't even afford Winnebago's. Hell, even if you got a bagel, that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, just put it on a bagel, slap it on, and let me rip it on my titties.
You know what Winnebago is basically? It's just a bagel that you hold out the window, get a little wind on it, get a little nature on that bagel.
A window bagel.
A window bagel. I like that right there.
You put too much cream cheese on a fucking bagel, buddy. You just roll down that Toyota Tundra window. You hold it out. Some of that cream cheese slops off. It might go slap on the fucking probably goddamn Ford Pinto behind you.
Hey, man, I knew over at that Jimmy Lee right one time. He put so much goddamn cream cheese on his bagel. He fucking shit out a log of Velveeta.
It's not
Ain't
good
no
for
lie.
you.
Ain't no lie.
You put too much cream cheese on a bagel. Let me tell you something. It's gonna lock you up. It's gonna lock you up, and then
it's gonna do it.
You're gonna be at the mill trying to get promoted to foreman.
Yeah.
That other buddy, he's gonna come around that corner. You're gonna have to go to the toilet at the outhouse. You're gonna be in there for an hour. Tops.
You preaching the choir there, brother man. I mean, what I'm gonna say is right off the bat, if you're gonna be that constipated, you're gonna have to go down to the doctors, and then they're gonna have to stick their finger right up your butt. But you're gonna have to assure everybody you ain't gay, just so you can go to the toilet.
Oh man,
just so you can go to the toilet.
Yeah, you got to.
And it's gonna be painful.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's like, well, what happens if I eat too much cream cheese and then I don't go to the doctor, and then I'm walking around with a fucking stomach growler all day, and you get angry at people, and then all of a sudden it hits you at once. You're at Sunday dinner table, middle of saying grace at your girlfriend's brother's house.
Yeah.
You make a fool of yourself.
And then all of a sudden your butthole starts cracking off like a trumpet in heat.
Yeah.
It's just farting all through the house, and your mama's all mad because now you ruined her whole dinner. You wanted to bake potatoes, and now you can't even have that because you're just going to be on the toilet all night long trying to shit out that cream cheese. Be careful what you put on your bagel, sons of bitches. By the way, that was the most random, weirdest fucking, like, that shit's going to be in Rob Zombie's Little Munsters.
I don't know what happened. I'm not sure why.
Little Munsters. I said Little Munsters. But
Little Munsters.
Little Monsters is what I was thinking of, but Munsters, the Munsters.
I have no idea why, when, how that happened, but that's what happens sometimes. Take that damn thing off.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's because you talk about Rob Zombie and you can't help but to get in that goddamn accent, just like that.
Yeah.
You really kill all them worthless animals, boy. Yeah. You think you're a real badass motherfucking killer.
Hey, you know when you got your keeper? Is when she goes to the store to get your Super Bowl accoutrement, and she comes back with Velveeta cream cheese. Not that knockoff stuff, but pure brand name Velveeta. It means she cares about your GI
your
tract.
insides is what she's caring about, because she's caring about how your stomach feels afterward the dinner, and your heart on the inside as well. I'll tell you what, man, I guess I'm still waiting on my angel from high, because all I get's that goddamn great value bullshit.
Yeah, nothing but that cream cheese from that fancy city down there in Philadelphia, and Velveeta, the golden juice of the gods, as a lot of call it.
The weirdest thing is happening right now. I'm having a fucking deja vu moment. I don't know if we've just done this fucking thing so many times where we act like this, or it actually happened, and I've got that Carlos Mencia effect. No, I know what it's called.
It's because we've done it so many times. That's probably why.
The Mandela effect. When I was like, hey, I got that Mencia effect. You remember that guy that used to be funny before it was found out that he stole people's jokes? That guy.
Who was it that said? Oh, someone said, I lost it. Oh, yeah. Zachary Bloom said, Velveeta makes cream cheese.
Yeah, they do. What you talking about? You must not know how to make cream cheese out of Velveeta.
You missed my nuance, okay? You missed my nuance. It's like the difference between a Chevrolet Silverado and a Dodge Ram. The nuance is the little touches. You see, I said Velveeta is the golden yeller cheese, and But just the
Gift of
same,
the gods.
just the same as the greatest cream cheese is Philadelphia, because Philadelphia is a fancy city full of city men.
You know, I heard they
how to
got a
make
bell
cream
out there.
cheese.
You know what? That cheese from that place is so famous that when each new container, that Philadelphia cheese rolls off the line, they ring that Liberty Bell. Just so you know it's American.
Yeah.
That fucking Philadelphia cream cheese. And I don't even like Northerners.
I'll tell you, I want to go listen to some Toby Keith right now because you're getting me all excited.
Hey, you going to listen to Toby Keith? I might listen to John Michael Montgomery and we going to have a party.
Whoa.
Get it?
Hey, that's too crazy now. You can't do that on a Monday.
Yeah, that's true. I got to calm it down. Maybe I'll start off with Vince Gill. Then I'll walk my way up.
There you go. There you go.
By the way,
a little don't take
really
the girl.
You know how it's going to be. We can't get out of this accident for 3 days.
yeah, we have to. It's
we
time
have
to stop now.
It's time to stop now, Mac.
I saw 20 people go, "Fuck this shit."
Oh yeah, dude. People fucked off. They probably thought
shit.
If they'd never seen us before, and then these motherfuckers talk about Halloween, it's like, yeah, well, you know, boy, that old Michael Myers, he goes out to his house sometimes with his coveralls on. He don't even wash his butthole, and he's got that old white mask on, supposed to be William Shatner, and goes over there and tries to fucking kill the babysitters. And, yeah, as soon as they see that, they out 5,000. They're like, I'm not.
This is a good time to point out that we have my kid's in there screaming on her phone. It's a good time to point out that we have the Redneck Scream video coming up soon.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one. You're going to like that. You're going to like it a lot, okay? Look in my eyes. You're going to like it. You're going to like it a lot. And if you don't like
Man, you got to get it. You got to get close. You got to go like this.
Hey. If you don't like it.
A lot.
If you don't like it, then
a lot.
You like it. I'm gonna have to make you like. I'm freaking myself out now.
Hey, look, dude, watch.
I'm scaring myself.
Watch this, dude. If a girl, Sheena was a man.
But
I did not know. I did not recognize. That was. I don't mess around with no Oscar Mayer wiener. That's from a song, guys.
This shit's already off the fucking rails, man. Hey, I gotta take me pee-pee.
I do too.
All right. Well, I said it first, so I get it first.
Well,
NASCAR.
go ahead.
If you ain't first,
some cream cheese while you're in there. Why don't you? Don't share it with nobody else, because I know you got a secret block in your pants.
I might. Gonna relieve my lizard, and
woo-wee.
I got a camo toilet cover the other day.
Did you really?
No.
I was gonna say, because you kind of sounded serious, like you're just hiding it under the southern accent. And I was like, you're just trying to say that because I won't judge this.
Bernie Gambano says Jay looks like he's in Sub-Zero's lair. You do kind of look like you look like you're in one of the crystals of isolation.
Crystal meth can be fun. Yeah, I know it kind of does. It kind of looks like a bonus stage on Mortal Kombat's Fatality. Sub-Zero mythologies.
In a badass way, though.
I like it.
I'll take a break. Then Jay will take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about Halloween news, Snyder Cut, all sorts of fun shit. Be right back.
Okay. I see you soon. I see you real soon.
I'm still talking like this. I ain't even fucking meaning to.
I know, man. It's just coming in right now. Law just don't go around here, law dog. Yeah, I heard you the first time. Winter the King. Shut up, Ike. Gonna have to fucking quote some Tombstone now. Anyway. By the way, lasagna dinner, I don't hate Northerners at all. Like, that was a joke. I was doing my Southern accent there, so it's not really a thing. I like Northerners. As long as I don't step on my freedom, you hear me? Don't you take my guns away, god damn it. No, I don't give a shit. How y'all doing, though? How y'all doing? You doing well? Me hope you're doing real well. Me doing fine. Me enjoying this food. Where they will call it adult beverages, me just call it beer. But you all care what you want in the world. I hope everything going good and you laugh. Lupe, Jay kind of looks like the guy that plays Mr. Loomis in the Halloween. You mean Dr. Loomis? Yeah, I actually do. We do Dr. Loomis sketches. That's them. Jay, how's the RPG gaming going? Dude, I've been grinding like a stripper on a pole for like 4 days straight to get my levels up. It's been going good. It's weird, man, because I started out, this is going to get real nerdy here, but I started out with Final Fantasy 7, and then I started playing. I was like, I'm probably not going to be like involved in it. But then once I started playing it and the game started coming back to me, I'm like, God, I can't get out of it. And then I started playing Final Fantasy 8. and I can't get out of that. But it's been going fun, man. I really good times. Good times. The Dark Reaper 99. Jay, Godzilla or King Kong? Buddy, I got my monies on Godzilla. First off, he's got that, what do they call it? Because I get called out every time. The blue blasty shit from his gut. Like, you know, he's got indigestion and he guts that up. That shit, he's got the mega flare, the nuclear strike. I don't know what you call it, but he's got that already in the bag. And he's a big motherfucker. He's got a tail too that he can strike down with God's wrath. King Kong's cool and shit. He's got a lot of power, obviously, and speed, but he's a big fucking ape. You're going against Godzilla, the king of monsters, basically. I just got Godzilla, man. I think that Godzilla is going to be the badass. I did know that somebody was talking about Mecha Godzilla was showcased more in the newer trailer. And I didn't, you know, obviously me and Mike are dunces and we didn't pick that out at all when we were doing the trailer reaction. But apparently Mecha Godzilla, somebody was pointing out that Mecha Godzilla might be why King Kong is mad at Godzilla or something. And then like Godzilla and King Kong, the real one, teams up and they take on Mecha Godzilla. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I hope kind of not they do that, but yes, Atomic Blast. That's what it is. Atomic Blast. Sometimes when I'm alone, you know, it's in a like a bathroom and I'm taking a pee. I go, Atomic Blast, Hadouken. You know, when I really have to pee and I do it. Not it happens often though. Rec God says, Jay, what's your favorite Marvel Select? Oh man, that's a good one. I've got so many. I really like I really do like Captain. I really like Captain Guinnessville. They had an alternate version. They released Captain Marvel, not Brie Larson. I have no ass ruining MCU. Not her, but the original Captain Marvel, the best, one of the best superheroes ever. They had an alternate version in Marvel Select, Guinnessville, his son, and it's badass. Like it's got the classic suit, Captain Marvel suit, but like his face and everything is like stars and shit. It looks really awesome. Lupe, does it burn, Jay? Well, if it did, I'd be going to the doctors. No, it doesn't. I just say it because it's like, if it's like a really big, you know, blast of pee that's really like, you know, hitting on all four cylinders, you just, I don't know, you know, it's weird. Like when you go to the bathroom and it just feels really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like you've just been holding it in and now's your chance and you get to go in there and you just, oh my, and you like let out a Conan the Barbarian scream. You're like, oh, it's kind of like that. I don't know. Skilliam Shatner says Godzilla can get it, bro. Yeah, he can. And if he can't get it, he'll take it straight up and without paying, with no tip at all. Said Agatha can get it too, boy. Hey man, Agatha Harkness, I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of cute. She's kind of sexy in that weird like BDSM kind of way in the WandaVision. I never thought so at first, but I was like, yeah, kind of. I can see it. She's powerful too. The Force Unleashed with Jay. Yeah, that's the tell me what God is the Force Unleashed. Yeah, I'll be a star killer. What's up, Tribal Chief?
Hey,
not you, asshole. There's a real Tribal Chief in the thing in the chats.
Oh.
I don't think he's a real Tribal Chief though. I feel like we just watched that Cannibal the musical. Yeah. And they had teepees because we have teepees. Like, yeah, they have teepees, so they're probably Indians. All right, well, I go take a pee now.
All right, enjoy it. Enjoy it for me. Enjoy it for me. For me! I fight for me. Oh, we got Rocky 3 news coming up. All right, fuck. Creed 3 news. Different story altogether. Oh, to beat them to death with their own shoes. Oh, man. What's up, guys? Do you guys like to get naked and stare at yourselves in the mirror and call yourself Wanda? I do. Dirk Jason Hall said, pull up a pic of King Diamond. I would, but I don't want to fuck up the OBS here because it seems like anytime you touch something the wrong way, it'll eat your dick off. So I'm scared. What's up, Kosi? Hey, I see a ghost in Jay's room. If you guys are just here for the movie news, stick around. I promise it's coming. We're going to talk Creed 3. We're going to talk Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, as the kids are calling it these days, as it's officially called. Lasagna dinner, which is pretty much the greatest name of all time. Who doesn't love a lasagna dinner? Says Mike, do you like coffee ice cream? I'm eating it right now. Speaking of which, drop a line down below, everybody, with what you were drinking tonight. Doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. We're not all about that here. Could be a delicious Mountain Dew. But I like to know what everyone's drinking while they're watching us. Coffee ice cream, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with it, but I have to watch my coffee intake because I have anxiety. So I can only have so much coffee. I have it the second I wake up every day, and I love coffee flavored things. I like espresso chocolate beats; those are good. But yeah, I love it. But I like to stick to my coffee flavored things being coffee because I want to drink as much coffee as I fucking can because I love it, but my body and brain can't take it because I'm a nutbag. Jason Owen says, Loomis, is it true that Dr. Frankfurter was your star patient? We will ask Jay that when he gets back because I'm not Dr. Loomis. Clearly, I'm just a man standing in front of a woman asking her to jerk him off. Mike, have you seen the horror short Snake Dick? Says R. Grimes that came in a couple days ago. I've not heard of Snake Dick, but it sounds frightening. I'm both afraid of snakes and dicks in certain capacities, most capacities, and that makes me scared a lot, for sure. Hey, and you're welcome, Paige. Thanks for the great Patreon pick. That was Cannibal the Musicals, a video we just reviewed for the Patreons, and that was a good time. It's a very spodoinkle day. Gypsy Warrior says, any thoughts on Free Britney? I haven't watched that doc yet. Jay has watched it. The wife and I were planning on watching it at some point because, we love that shit. But yeah, makes you feel bad for Britney Spears. Apparently her dad's a big old fucking spadoinkle dickhead. So I heard that he lost some sort of rights, and that makes me happy in my pantaloons because, yeah, that girl's been through a lot. Leave Britney alone. Leave her alone. Hey, happy birthday, Dallas Cervantes. Happy birthday. Kane B's drinking Henny. Man, that's some fancy shit to watch this show while you're drinking. Luan Thomas is drinking bleach. Please don't. You're going to die. Iron Wolf says stuffed crust pizza. That's the best, right? But Papa John's stuffed pizza sucks balls. Pizza Hut has the greatest stuffed crust pizza, at least of the chains, for sure. Papa John's is ass. I'm not a Papa John's fan anyway. Dallas is drinking tequila to celebrate his birthday. Hey man, I had a healthy tequila the other day. I had a healthy margarita. I can't do margaritas in their full frontal male nudity because they give me a stomachache. Too much sugar just goes straight to my shit. God, I sound so old. But I had one made with like all this like fancy shit that was like water and like these fancy liquids that my sister gave me, and it was fucking good. It was nice to drink a good old tequila again. Been a while. Beer for Richie Work, that's good. I've got some Mountain Dew with other clear liquid in it. And it's delicious. And it's funny because when I want to drink vodka and Mountain Dew, it always reminds me of last summer when the whole COVID scare happened and we started these live streams. We had some great times. The world was on fire, but no one knew what was going to happen next. We were all trapped in our houses, but it was nice outside and we were streaming like every day. And I just have great memories from that time, aside from the horrible shit happening on the outside of the world. Maybe that's why I decided to go with the old... That was my idea. It was Coors Light and Mountain Dew vodka there for a while. It's good times. You know what that means, Jay? Tell me of Ohio.
It is where the people go, meaning the good land, to
yes.
all come together.
Hey, Jason Owens wants to know, Loomis, is it true that Dr. Frankenfurter was your star patient?
I don't know anything about the goddamn Frankenfurter, Oscar Mayer wieners. Shut up. They're no star pupils. They're all dumbasses. Nobody understands Michael. They just think he's a misunderstood psychopath.
Hot dog.
Try to goddamn psychopath. Let's kill his sister and then try to kill multiple women in the same night. Asshole needs to be dead. No, Dr. Newman should be fucking suck a big old dick and stick it in your butt. By the way, I was gonna point out Vinny. He's like whenever we do those close-ups, these things with Wayne's World. Extreme close-up. Whoa!
Remind me of that shit too. Ryan Gillen says, I have to ask, with cancel culture being as bad as it is right now, do you guys think Halloween will be under fire due to the violence?
I hope not.
We were just kind of talking about that before the stream, but horror movies in general, no, I don't think it'll get that bad because I don't know, dude. Some of it's so fucking stupid. Like, don't get me wrong. If you go out and you say some dumb shit in the dark year of our Lord 2021, you know what's gonna happen. All right. So if you go out there and say some stupid shit, you gotta watch your P's and Q's. All right. But that being said, the dumb shit that we're all like, I saw someone the other day online say that they should actually ban sex in movies at all because it gives people what was it? It gives gender stereotypes and it gives unfair expectations. And I'm like,
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Like, I
Well,
know for a fact when I take my shirt off, girls don't expect me to fucking look like Hugh Jackman and goddamn Wolverine, all right?
God forbid that you don't look like fucking Fabio, like when you take off your shirt. Like most girls understand that. Most chicks would understand that. Most guys understand that. Look, it's not. Look, guys are simple creatures, like, you know, boobies. It doesn't matter. All shapes and shies, it doesn't matter. I don't give one fuck. But the point being is like, yeah, cancel culture sucks is 100%. If they're going to go back and edit movies because, you know, ultra sensitive tampons are out there running shit, that's a crime. Whether or not they come after Halloween, I hope not. Is it on the chopping block? Maybe. I mean, I did see someone mentioning that it's possible that if they go back and they decide that something in it is somehow offensive to today's culture, the thing about it is it's the word, like, yeah, I mean, look, you can't go on, you're free to say whatever the fuck you want to say, and if it offends somebody, whoop de fucking do, it happens, but you're going to face consequences for it. I mean, that's just the way that freedom of speech works. Totally have the right to say whatever the fuck you want. What I have a problem is going back into certain established properties such as like Halloween or whatever and saying nitpicking stuff to be perfect for everybody else. Here's the thing, I don't know if anybody ever told you this, but your opinion means shit. Welcome to the real world. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's the thing. Everybody's got different opinions, and you're going to be offended. I'm going to be offended. He's going to be offended. She's going to be offended by something. But guess what? It fucking happens. I'm going to move on about my day. It's not going to fucking end my world.
Well, it's just like, dude, it's like this. It's like, are we going to, okay, if we're going to do that, if we're going to go back into previous movies and shit and cancel them or edit them or do all this stuff, if it's like egregious racism, I understand that. Like, I get that. But like going past that into other stuff is just insane because you got to look at it. Are we going to go back in the history books? Are we going to remove all the bad shit that Americans and other cultures have done? Are we going to pretend it doesn't exist? We're going to, that's what do you call that? It's not. It's even further than censorship. It's It's just straight up lying. You can't act like things didn't happen that actually happened.
It's like it's revisionist history, dude. Like, I mean, like it happened.
Propaganda.
You know, well, that was what Hitler did. But the point being is like, look, I did hear something that they're even trying to cancel Marshall Matt. They're trying to cancel Eminem. I'm rolling my fucking eyes here because that motherfucker has been offensive since 1999.
I know.
Like, he's been offensive since George Washington's times.
It's kind
Who
of
gives a shit? My point being is like, if you don't like what you're watching and you don't like what you're listening to, or you don't want to pick that, move the fuck on and pick something else. I don't understand. You know, it was so easy back in the day in the 90s when you go to a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video and you, which movie should I pick? That one looks too scary. I'm going to pick Rugrats. Okay, see, you moved on. You made your choice and nothing happened. You moved on. But now you're going to sit there and say, nobody should watch this atrocious movie because people could somehow, I don't know, go out and stab each other in the eyes with ice picks.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. And on the other hand, you can't tie in someone wanting to cancel something with an entire swath of the human race. You can't be like, you can't just like, and again, not going into politics here. We don't even talk about like which side of us or any of that shit, but you can't be like, like what I was talking about, that girl who said that sex shouldn't be in movies at all. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Ooh. But the problem with that is when you look at that and go, see, every liberal and person in the world wants everything canceled. You can't do that. Like, this is just one person or one little group that wants it canceled. You gotta, you know what I mean? That's gonna make us all fucking hate each other. Because every time you see somebody that's like, hey, I think you should wear a mask, it's like, that guy canceled Dr. fucking Seuss. Like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Somebody's got to wake up. And somebody's going to step up. One of these big companies, when they're trying to do this, and be like, shut the fuck up and get out of my face. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Now suck a cock and go fly a kite. If somebody were to do that, they'd shut these fuckers up real quick because they'd be like, you can bitch and cry and whine all you want, but guess what? The sky's still blue and the sun's still going to rise and you're going to wake up tomorrow feeling just A-okay. Shut the fuck up and worry about other things. We got a pandemic going on. There's people fucking dying of hunger. There's a million other things that you could fucking be worried about, but you're worried about some boobies and some vagini being flashed in a fucking movie. Woo-wee! Exactly. God damn, they must have been direct fucking descendants of Puritans, dude. 100%.
Hear ye, hear ye. Eric Burke, holy shit, man. That's a huge super chat, dude. Thank you so much for that. And I like your Texas Chainsaw Massacre running running thing there as well. It says, "What's both of your opinions of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?"
I think it should be canceled. It's awful. It's fucking nasty. It's disgusting. That man wears fucking faces on his face because and they're making fun of mental health patients. You dirty, nasty. No, I think it's great. I love it. I want more violence and blood from that. I think the original one's fucking still scary today. I think the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if you watch it, I got it on Blu-ray, dude. It scared the fuck out of me. Just the way they shot it on Blu-ray, it looks scary. Even though I'd like the remake a lot. Well, not a lot better, but dude, the original holds up real fucking well.
Yeah, the original is one of the scariest movies of all time, just because it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like it was like a fucking like the original found footage. Like it feels like that dude's just coming out of the woods after you, and it's scary as fuck. It's freaky. The sequels, I'm weird about. Like it's not a franchise that I can watch and go, I want to watch all the sequels. To me, every movie is so separate from the original. So you have the original, you have the second one, which is funny, and I get that people love it, but I don't find myself wanting to revisit that one for some reason, because even though it makes me laugh, there's like it's kind of got that Rob Zombie feel to it. Like I feel gross when I watch. So I a lot of times I don't want to go watch that movie. I do need to revisit it again though. The third, or I don't know if it's the third one, but Next Generation with
Matthew McConaughey.
That movie shocked the shit out of me, dude. I thought it was going to be pure ass trash. And we watched it, man, and laughed our fucking tits off. My wife and I did. We had a great time. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I thought it was great. I'd love to go back and rewatch that one again. The remake, fucking awesome, underrated ass remake.
100%.
Amazing.
It's up there with Rob Zombie's Halloween, and no one ever mentions it. And can we not fucking please get we need a fucking CNN news flash about how great Jessica Biel's ass looked. Holy shit.
It's the truth. It's one of the greatest asses that has ever graced the screen in jeans.
And I don't care if it was a dirty, dusty butt. It looked good. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's weird, man. I've always had a weird relationship with Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it's one of those movies, when you ask me about the first one, I fucking love it. Like the original one, it's so good. He earns his place in, alongside the other horror legends. And then you talk about the remake, and I love that one too. But then when you get into the murky territory of the sequels, you hit or miss. You hit or miss. I mean, that's just really what they are. I mean, we could say that about really any of them, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a weird one because it's just about a dude that is like with an inbred family, and then they made multiple sequels. And I was like, I thought you fucking died. I mean, wouldn't you just got shot by the cops and like arrested or something by now? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and like the things that came after the remake were goddamn awful. The prequel, I get what they were going for. What was it named? Leatherface. I got there, but it wasn't a Texas Chainsaw movie at all. I am looking forward to the Fede Alvarez produced one that's supposed to come out soon though. I'm really looking forward to that one. I think it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good.
I wonder if they're going to do the was it 2003? Was that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake? I think that was 03.
Right. That sounds right.
I feel like they're going to do at some point they're going to try a reboot again of that movie. Like start fresh again, flat fresh, and then try it again. Because they got all twisted because it goes back to the Michael story. I don't need a prequel. I don't need to know why he's fucked up. I don't need to know or understand that once he was like just like the little old boy running through the fields, and then all of a sudden he was scarred horribly. I don't need to know all that shit about him. Just the fact that he's an inbred cannibal kind of dude that's crazy is enough. That will to chainsaw. That's all I need.
I don't want to go deeper into the family. I just want to watch a bunch of randos stumble into their fucking woods. You know what I mean? Like that's what's scary to me, for sure, man. Dirk Jason Hall said the Great Divide is here. Hashtag no consent. Fuck them all. Critical thinking is vital for our survival.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, like let's be adults about things. Let's be like, hey, I can watch something with tits in it. I can watch something with death in it. I'm an adult. It's gonna be okay. That's why they have ratings for these things. Let's grow the fuck up and have brains. And like, you can't show sex because what if someone thinks that their girlfriends should look like Jessica Alba naked, and then they get their feelings hurt. So all the rest of the adults, it's like it goes back to the same thing with kindergarten. Like if you bring candy, bring enough for the rest of the class. If that person decides not to eat the candy, they can't tell the rest of the class they're not allowed to have fucking candy, right? I mean, it's not like you're bringing fucking shellfish in and all the kids are going to get sick. If it's something that doesn't have peanuts or eggs in it, I don't know. I'm going off on a whole thing here because, kids,
I mean, cancel culture is a virus, dude. And hopefully one day there's an antidote that pops up and it just wakes the people up and then they remove their tampons firmly from their asshole and their vaginas and get over it. I mean, and again, the reason why it does so well is because people give them fucking attention. If you just ignore the little assholes, they're like fucking crazy people on the street that talk about, God damn, the meteor's coming. You would normally never fucking pay attention to them. But because you fucking pay attention on Twitter, on Instagram, on any other fucking thing, and you give them a platform to run their mouth,
Yeah.
Then they're like, I'm powerful. I one time wielded the He-Man sword. No, you're just a pussy and you're a moron. Shut your mouth.
They get addicted to it. And if you go out there looking for shit to cancel like a goddamn Sentinel from X-Men, just scanning for shit that pisses you off, it's gone too fucking far. There are things in our past that used to be okay. You know, when I was a kid, and I get where they're coming from, when I was a kid, I hated it when in movies, when people would call someone fat and they would make fun of them. When the actor was actually fat, you know, and I'm like, I get that you're playing this for jokes and whatever. Like, I understand the idea. But, you know, in my head, I was also like, that's got to make that actor feel like shit. Even if they signed on to it because they needed a job or whatever, I feel bad for that actor. Like, they signed up. It's like, oh, I got thick skin. You can make fun of me. But I always felt bad for him. And I always kind of, in my head, I was like, I wish they wouldn't do that. But I'm not going to go out and fucking tell people, just like if you're a vegetarian, don't eat fucking meat. That's cool. Yeah. I understand your plight. 100%. And you know what? If the entire world decided to stop eating meat, I wouldn't fucking rail like, let's kill the animal. I need that meat. I'd be like, the whole world stopped eating meat. I will too. Fine. You know what I mean?
Well, I would want the choice. I mean, you don't take it out of my fucking hands. If the whole world decided to stop eating meat, if the choice is still available to have a big, nice, fat Angus burger from Hardee's, I'm going to have that choice. I feel like that's the thing.
But I'm not going to go out to have choices and kill a cow to eat it just to smite the government.
If you are allowed to have choices in this life, that's called being an adult and having free will. But there's also a thing called other people with their own ideas. You are not allowed to dictate to anybody because it offends you or that it's a problem for you, that it's a problem for everybody and it needs to be removed. That's a fucking bullshit, selfish ass goddamn bull. I cannot believe that anybody even entertains that thought. Just because you're mad about something doesn't mean that everybody gets to share your bullshit.
Right.
I don't know. But either way, we're getting
Let's move on because it's like, oh God, I think we get enough of that in the real world. Eric Burke, dude, thank you again very much for that. He says, great answer for my question. Thanks. I love y'all. I love you too.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Maybe one day we can hang out in Texas.
Yeah. Hey, here today that you can go to the Halloween 4 gas station.
I did see that. I saw that you wrote about that. That seems fucking badass. How much is it?
I don't know. It's probably pretty cheap. Probably. I mean, the one we went to didn't cost that much, but yeah, post on WeWatchMovie.com today. You can go to the gas station that was in Halloween 4 and eat there, and then watch the movie there. And normally their things aren't that expensive, but again, it's on the other side of the country. It's 30 minutes outside of Salt Lake City, which I looked at a map. It's really far away.
I saw that. I saw one of those older videos Sean did from the thing with two heads. He did one of those when he went out there. He said the burgers are pretty fucking tasty.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
So it's not bad.
I have to get a cup. Because
it's the same thing. It's kind of like I think they were charging a lot though to stay the night in the Halloween house, or not the Halloween house, but the Scream house. It's pretty cool though. I would love to go out there and just hang out. I wanted to, it'd be fun. Like I'll do the trench coat. We'll dress as Loomis and Myers and we'll go out there and we'll recreate the whole thing. Hopefully we won't be arrested. That should be funny as fuck. I'd love that. Stay away from those people at Haddonfield, Michael. If you want another victim, take me. God damn you. But it'll never happen. They're like, you boys, like right in the middle of filming that, like, you boys get, y'all want your goddamn burgers with ketchup on it? It's over here. It's ready to go. Like, yeah, I'll be that in a minute.
Hang on. Let's see here. Daniel Marquis says, I was impressed. Thank you, by the way, man. Appreciate that. He says, I was impressed with your interview with Andy Matishak. Your channel's outstanding. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate that.
That's a really nice compliment. Yeah. I thought, honestly, I talked to Mike after that interview. I was like, dude, I thought we blew ass. Like, I thought we were bad. I didn't know if but I mean, it was going great. She was great. She was really nice and answering every question that we had and really energetic. But I felt like I was like, God, we're tool bags in a tool shed. But no, I'm glad, man. That's awesome. Yeah, she was a great guest.
Yeah, she was awesome, man. Like she was a really cool person, and it's so nice of her to even do that for sure. And thanks for the super chat, man.
And also all the love that everybody's giving her in the video. That's amazing, and that's awesome.
And I'm psyched to see that people are watching Sun. And if you haven't seen it, trust me, watch it.
Oh man, it's so good.
We're not just blowing smoke. It's a good horror movie. The Chosen One, Lee Wyatt, thank you. I love your name. Says, I want to thank you guys for getting me through rough times in my life. Love your videos and reactions. I got Taking Shape 1 and 2 today. Hey, those are good books, dude. Those are good books. And thank you, because you guys get us through all the shit in our daily lives too. Believe that. It's true, man.
Are you gonna read Taking Shape 1 Taking Shape 2? Are you going to read them like in order? Or are you going to read Taking Shape 2 first, take a shape in the toilet, and they read Taking Shape 1?
Hey, you read Taking
Because you
Shape
got to take
while
a shape
taking
in the
shapes.
toilet when you're reading. Hey man, we got to get back on that. There's so many fucking like badass, like never before seen scripts in there. Woo-wee.
Hey, you know what we should do is we should get the guy that wrote those books on the show. He gave us a copy to give away not too long ago, so I'm sure he'd come on the show. We can, yell at him and be like, "Tell us things we don't know.
Yeah.
Give us more. Squeeze it. Squeeze the juice.
Tell me, I'll break it off. Tell me."
All right, moving on. Speaking of Halloween, we'll go ahead and do that movie news. And there's other movie news that we're going to talk about too tonight, but
what do you have in that?
Heightens my sense of security. This is just cranberry juice. I'm on my period. I spit everywhere.
It looks like it.
I spit everywhere. I wanted to get Mountain Dew, but it was in the garage. Didn't want to make you wait, so I'm just drinking cranberry juice like an asshole. Let's go to the story.
Dude, I thought my internet really went out for a second.
Let's see. Where did it go? Where did he go, George? Which way did he go? Oh, I don't even have a thingy for this one. Okay. So, there is a theory going on about Halloween. And the theory got started on this channel. Let's see. Go to the thing. Braxton Wages. Shout out to Braxton Wages on our Patreon, by the way, for letting us know that this was being talked about. And shout out to Sinister Cinema Reviews is the name of the channel. Watch the video today. God does a good job. Go subscribe to him. Despite
he's got a nice relaxing voice. It's like
does.
a Ben Stein kind of voice. I like it.
Opposite of us, I think people would enjoy that from time to time. You don't.
Yeah, it feels like a guy that actually knows what he's talking about, and you can actually get good information from him. Yeah, he seems like he speaks with like confidence in his voice, and I like it.
Again, opposite of us. So shout out to him. Even though we are going to kind of poop on his idea, it's not him. He does a good job, and you guys should go subscribe to him for sure. Actually, I think we're going to poop on his idea. I think I am a little bit, but he had a comment on his channel that made him start thinking. And the whole theory is this. The whole theory is that Michael, in Halloween 1978, was not actually going after Laurie. He was actually going after Annie in the film. And the reason that they think that is because Michael showed no signs of aggression whatsoever once he broke out. He followed Laurie or whatever, but it wasn't until he was driving down that street and Annie yells out, "Hey, jerk, speed kills," that he shows his first sign of aggression where he hits the brakes and he stops there.
He just discovered what a brake was.
Someone gave him lessons.
He's like, shit.
And then not only that, but that he goes to Annie's house first. He kills Annie first. And at no point, the theory has it, at no point does he show any more interest in Laurie or anybody else than he does towards Annie. He goes straight to her house. He watches her. He kills her first. And the theory is that the only reason he even goes after anybody else, the friends, Bob, Jamie Lee Curtis, is because they walked in the house where he had killed her. And the last part of the theory, for the most part, is that Annie is the one that when he kills her, he puts her in the bed and he puts his sister's tombstone in there. An important piece to him, that she's the one he gives the tombstone to. And then he only goes after anybody else when they walked into his crime scene. That's the theory.
Yeah. Well, when I heard it, and by the way, great job for him, Sinister Cinema Reviews, as conveying it to everybody else. Good job on that for sure. It's an intriguing idea. It's interesting, but I ultimately feel like you have failed this test. So the reason why is because, and again, I could see it from that angle. But here's the thing, Michael Myers. I feel like Michael Myers himself. He's not your standard everyday run-of-the-mill, woo-wee, I'm going to live off my fucking land and my mama's head's in the cabin and I'm going to go stalk people and I don't got a brain. He's smart. The thing about Michael Myers, he's very smart. He understands like tactics. He understands strategy. And I think what he was doing the entire time, Laurie was the target. Actually, Deborah Hill confirmed that. Deborah Hill said it was originally called the Babysitter Murders, and Annie and Laurie were targeted by him. And it was confirmed by Deborah Hill that Laurie reminded him of his sister. The point being, moving forward from that, is the fact that Michael knew to trap her. She's babysitting across the street from Annie. He knows that if he sets things up just right, that she's going to come over and to investigate. Again, he's not stupid. He's like he's a serial killer. He knows what he's doing. He's setting things up in a certain way so that he knows she's going to come over to investigate, and then he's got her. I got you, Skeletor. That's what he's doing. And again,
caught me unawares.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. It's not like he's randomly targeting somebody because she said, "Speed kills, jerk." And he's like, "I'm gonna kill that fucking hoe because she called me out in the middle of a sunny day in front of her friend. I just learned how to drive, and she gonna call me out." I don't think it was like that at all. I think he always targeted Lori, but he knew the best way to do that is to take her friends down first, the ones that are closest around her, therefore removing any type of support system that she would have, and then finally getting what he wants, which is the elimination of Lori. And also on top of that, again, you got to think he's across the street. He goes to Annie's house, correct, 100%. And he's over there for a while. But isn't it at one point that Tommy looks out the shades and sees him? Well, staring at her fucking house. He already knows. He knows that she's like he's like connecting it.
That's what I was gonna say. So like, it's a good theory. It's not a bad theory. But I did deconstruct a little bit in my own head. I went back and I watched the movie today, and I took notes of all these little things. Let me run through this here real quick. This is basically, to me, in my mind, the reason that it's not, the theory's not true. He was actually still going after Lori. The number one thing is exactly what you just said. Deborah Hill in the commentary said he was going after both of them, but she's the one who reminded him of Lori, which is pretty. I mean, that's kind of, in my mind, that's kind of the nail in the coffin of the theory, anyways, right? But there are other things. If you look at the movie semantically, the whole timeline, the first thing that happens, Michael sees Lori first. She comes up to the house. He follows her outside. He looks at her while she's walking away, and she's singing to herself. He follows her. Okay, and then he goes to her school where she's at. Hasn't seen Annie yet at all. Goes to her school where she's at. He's standing outside the school, waiting on school to let out, basically. Yeah. She looks out the window. He's out there next to the car. The next thing that happens is Michael is still outside the school. He doesn't know which way Lori's going to come out, doesn't know what's going to happen. The first thing he sees is Tommy, who he saw with Lori initially.
And and then followed him.
Right. Yeah. So, and initially Tommy walks away immediately. Michael's attention doesn't go with Tommy. It goes straight towards Lori. He goes to her school. He waits on her. But when he sees Tommy come out, he grabs him. He doesn't do anything to him. He lets the kid walk away, but then he follows Tommy. And in my mind, he's following Tommy because he knows that he's going to lead him to Lori because he doesn't know where she left or whatever. He doesn't do anything to the kid, doesn't hurt him, which adds credence to the theory that I don't think the original version of Michael Myers ever wanted to hurt any kids. But that's another story altogether. He follows Tommy. He doesn't lead her to Lori. He starts driving around. The next thing that happened is Annie yells at Michael. Now, when she yells at him, Michael drives right by them. He looks them all dead in the face. He realizes that he's found her. Someone screams at him, and he stops. But if you look at how far the car away is when he stops, there's no way that he could discern which one of them yelled that out, number one. Because if you watch that scene, the car is so far away. There's no way he knew that it was Annie specifically who yelled that out. And not only that, but I think the major nail in the coffee...
the coffee works. We have Vanessa's mother from Colombia. Colombia house!
Not only that, the next time you see Michael, he walks up on... He steps up to Lori and Annie when they're together walking. He's on the other side of the bush. He disappears or whatever. But even after that scene, Michael doesn't follow Annie. Michael goes with Lori. Lori's in the house. She looks out the window, and Michael's standing there in the laundry. Michael followed. He followed Lori, not Annie, and he's stalking Lori, fucking with her. Yeah. After that, and I'm almost done. I promise. I know I'm going a long time here, but
you're gonna get extra credit. Don't you worry.
I look deep. That's another big nail in the coffin to me. The fact that he didn't follow Annie, he followed Lori. He stood outside of her window. He's trying to fuck with her. That's another sign that goes to the theory that but he gave Annie the Judith thing. Yeah. Michael Myers set up this entire theatrical play for her. When she walked in, the body drops. She sees her best friend with the Judith thing. He's trying to send her a message that her other best friend, is in the fucking wall here. All this shit's going on. He laid that whole thing out for them. But after that, he follows them in the car once again. They're smoking pot. They're doing their whole thing. He follows them. They're both idiots, by the way. Michael Myers is driving behind them, wearing the mask in the same car he's been driving in all day, and he's not even fucking trying to hide it. They get home. They both go to their separate houses. Michael drives up a little bit. Does he go to Annie's house first? Yes. But just like you said, he goes to Annie's house because he sees the parents leave. So he goes to Annie's house, but when little Tommy Doyle looks out the window, what does he see? He sees Michael Myers standing in Annie's lawn, not looking at Annie's house, but staring directly at the house that Laurie's in. He's looking at the house. So even though he went to Annie's house, he, like you said, he was making a plan, but he was watching Laurie's house. Yeah. His whole intent was, it's going to be easy for me. I want to kill her friends. I want to build this whole playpen, this fucking house of horrors for her to walk into. To me, that entire thing, and again, when Michael goes, when Annie runs across the street to the house that Laurie's at, Michael's no longer even at Annie's house. He's hiding behind the car. He pops up when she walks by. His whole thing was Laurie. He was just going to kill Annie first. That's my whole. I mean, I think that theory's dead in the water. Even though I think it was an interesting theory.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. He strategized. I mean, yeah. Michael Myers is a strategy player. Like, you go back and look at any serial killer in the world. Like, they set things up. They set things up so that they can't get caught, and they set things up to usually. I mean, you mentioned sending a message, possibly, but the fact is, Laurie Strode was his intended target the entire time. Yeah. Deborah Hill pretty much shoots this right in its dick. Mm. It was never about Annie. It was never about any other girl. The babysitter murders, yes, they're both babysitters, but the fact is, Laurie was the only one, and this is Deborah Hill, one of the co-writers of the film, saying she reminded him of his sister. And I understand the theory is also, you know, and it's the theory by it negates Halloween 2, where it establishes Laurie Strode as his sister. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, the entire movie is about Michael Myers obsessed with the Activia chick 100% of the fucking film. I mean, 100%. Right. He's not obsessed with anybody else. He's moving everybody around like chess pieces on chessboard. That's what you would do if and again, you take away the support system, which I mentioned earlier. You take away the support system. They don't have anybody to call. They don't have anybody to run to. They don't have anybody to rely on. You're dead in the water. And he thought, like, and in a way, it's like, that's what we didn't even know Michael Myers being supernatural at this point. He was like, I can take her out real quick and easy, and then maybe stroking right down the street, and no one will find out. And she'll be dead, and those kids will, you know, they're not going to find anybody because they can't run across the street to the other babysitter, because Tommy Doyle knew that she was babysitting the other chick, the little girl. What was it? Lindsay. He knew she was babysitting Lindsay. Yeah. And again, it's also a clear-cut point of this is, why the fuck is Michael, you mentioned this, why the fuck is Michael going out of his way to stand outside of her school going in the middle of the street in the daylight
when he hasn't even seen Annie yet?
Yeah,
he hasn't even seen Annie.
And then when she's babysitting Tommy Doyle, he's standing across the street in that iconic shot in the bushes staring at their fucking house. He always intended, and then I think that someone said, well, you know, he picks up the phone when Laurie calls over there, and he doesn't say anything because he's not interested. I think that's actually the other, you know, it's the opposite of that. He actually is interested. That's why he picked up the phone and made breathing noises in it to make her concerned, so he knew she'd come over. If Michael Myers didn't give a shit about her coming over, he wouldn't have answered the phone at all. He would have done what he needed to do and then left the fucking town. He instead picked up the phone and went, oh yeah, like, or, you know, I'm sure that's what he was thinking. He just breathed real hard into the phone because he knew she's going to come over. Anyway, it's an interesting theory. I don't know if it comes from Reddit. I don't actually know where that theory
came from a comment in his views, and then he went back and looked at it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" It was a commenter on his YouTube channel, which is pretty cool.
Oh, he's the actual guy that came up with the actual theory, because I thought he just took it from a Reddit theory.
No. Someone commented on his video, and then he
it's awesome. I mean, that's a badass theory. I'm sure that John Carpenter and Deborah Hill would be appreciative of that, but the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, I don't think it's true at all. I do think it's interesting, and it's fun. Again, it gives you another reason to watch the movie. It gives you a lens to watch. It's cool. All those things are good. But I think that, and I think not only that, but the fact that John Carpenter wrote Halloween 2. You know, John Carpenter, despite how he or anyone else may feel about the fact that it turns out that Laurie is related to Michael. I mean, hell, they even canceled that idea in the 2018 movie. Despite how anybody feels about it, though, John Carpenter, the same guy who wrote and made Halloween, is the one who wrote the fact that Michael and Laurie were related, and that was his reason for his draw to Laurie. So I think that in itself proves to you that in his mind, Michael was always directly after. You know,
and at the end of the day, you got to go with the creator. You got to go with the creator, the guy that made the fucking thing. Like, whether or not he intended for Michael Myers and Laurie Strode to be related, I don't know. I know that, you know, he didn't really want to come back and do Halloween 2. He did, and then he tied that all in. The fact that Deborah Hill, though, says that it reminded him of his sister, so that means that Deborah Hill and John Carpenter, prior to Halloween 2, had already had conversations about the babysitter murders, and they both had agreed, yeah, because he killed Judith Myers, something about Laurie Strode reminded him of his sister, and he stalked her throughout the entire movie. That was the point. If they had never made another Halloween movie again, and it was never revealed that she was related to him in any way whatsoever, it was stone cold facts that those two, Deborah Hill and John Carpenter, had at least discussed that, no, he stalked her because he was fucking crazy, and she reminded him of his sister. So, you know, but it's a cool theory. It's a great, I'm not shitting on it. I'm not necessarily, but it's just easy to, you know, it's easy to be like, I'm going to bat this one back to you there, Jim.
No, that's my excitement. Like, it's interesting enough to talk about, you know, so it is a well thought out idea. Not shitting on the idea at all. It's just, that's our opinion about why that's not true, but it's fun as well. You know what I think is even a more interesting theory, though, is what was Michael's intention with Laurie? Because if you watch that movie, does he ever really try to kill her? I mean, he's so he's so smart with his moves with everybody else that he kills. You know, it's direct to the point, no faking. With Laurie, you know, when he has her clear shot, he stabs her in the arm. You know what I mean? Like, there's little things there. If you wanted to deep dive into, was Michael even trying to kill Laurie?
Yeah,
He set up this whole thing for her, right? He set up the Judith bed. He set up her dead friends. He really wanted to fuck with her. Yeah. What if in Michael's mind he didn't think about the police showing up or Loomis showing up? He didn't think about any of that. What if in his mind he wanted to trap himself in that house with her and recreate that whole scene or torture her or do whatever?
Like Joe Dirt. Say I'm your sister. I'm your sister. I'm your sister. I think... Well, dude, I mean, the fact that he did try to kill her, though. I mean, when he gets in the house, the first thing he does, right when she stabs him in the fucking neck, he tries to stab her in the fucking couch. The thing is, he's damaged. I think what the problem with Michael is, he didn't know that bitch had, like, some fucking fighting spirit. He had no idea that she was going to come out, like, swinging like Mike Tyson and, like, try to take him down. Yeah. That was he underestimated Laurie's power.
I think eventually he's going to kill her. I think that's definitely going to happen. But I just wonder if he was immediately trying to kill her because he kills everybody else so fast. You know what I mean?
I think he was playing with her a little bit, but I think that once she showed that she had balls and she was going to put it to the limit, it to the limit, he was like, I got to take this girl out fast. I mean, she stabbed him in the fucking eyeball with the clothes hanger, and he's swinging for the fences. He's trying to kill her. But like, it's not like, I mean, it wasn't even like
it's missing a lot.
Thank God it wasn't like the Rob Zombie when he was, I just want to hug you. I'm a lonely man.
But all I'm saying is maybe he wanted to injure her, and don't get me wrong. Don't miss what I'm saying. I know Michael definitely wanted to kill her, but I think maybe he had a direct vision in mind for how he wanted to kill her, and he wanted to savor that. Maybe he wanted to take her up to the room where Judith's gravestone was and her friends were, and he wanted to do it a certain way. Maybe he wanted to recreate, make her sit down in front, take all her clothes off, sit down in that chair and brush her fucking hair. Maybe he wanted to do something like that.
I think that if you look at it like this, then maybe he had some kind of intricate plot in his mind about how he was going to play with her a little bit. Again, playing with your food. Serial killers do that in a lot of instances, but once the tables were turned and the lasagna is not cooked all the way through, and he realized that she could fight and that she wasn't going to just roll over and die.
I like that.
He was like, fuck, I got to take this hoe out now because I got to live. I think he got scared. And honestly, in Halloween 1, again, they do a good job. I'm not saying that he had fear, but he had something, whatever he could maybe think of as fear, it passed through him because he understood at that point Laurie Strode was not just going to roll over and take it, Tommy, take it. She wasn't going to do it. And yeah, man, maybe he had like, I think that he had like a playset idea how he was gonna kill her. But
Yeah.
then once she realized, this everybody was a kung fu fighting, like he was like, yeah, it's over. I gotta fucking kill her.
Yeah.
I think he was swinging for the fences, and then old Loomis shows up and shoots him fucking 6 times over the balcony. And the last thoughts that go through that asshole's brain when he's falling off the balcony, he's like, well, fuck me. Did I think that Dr. Monopoly was gonna show up? Like,
You know what I want to see? I want to see a fan edit where when Loomis shows up, instead of them fighting each other, Michael and Loomis walk towards each other like in Predator, and they give the 5, and he's like, and Michael's like, been pushing too many pencils, huh?
yeah.
I mean? And like old friends are just reunited again. But he's like, you know,
I was just gonna reiterate, and we both feel this. We're not shitting on the theory at all.
No.
We kind of are, but we're not. We're not doing it out of spite or anger or anything like that. It's a cool theory, and I like it. And if they made a fanfic about it, that'd be cool. But the fact that, like, does it when like looking, and we looked at the theory, we thought about it, we took time, we smoked some weed, and then we thought about it some more. Did it change my idea on Halloween when I watch it? No, because I still think that the original idea and vision that John Carpenter, Deborah Hill laid out is still Laurie Strode is still the main girl.
Yeah.
Now that brings you a question, dude. Do you think that and again, we like the fact that we're purists, but I mean, we're fine with them going on their own different routes. But do you think that if they had gone off of something like that, where Laurie Strode was not an intended relative or wasn't a relative at all, that it would have made the franchise richer? Or do you think it holds it back? That's a question for another day. But I'm just saying, for me personally, I like the fact that he was related to her, that she was adopted and she didn't know these things. It just adds another layer to her character. And like in the hospital scenes in Halloween 2, it just really gives her more depth.
Well, to go back to your first point, I think that the theory was interesting enough to make me go rewatch the movie today. Which that alone, fucking cool theory, man. That's awesome. Even if we don't,
that dude almost made me do it too. That dude also made me want to like go get like that guy. That guy's voice is so fucking smooth. It made me want to watch ASMR and watch Halloween over again.
But on your theory, there, it's a good question, man. Like I think that it's hard to say because it's hard to go back. Was the franchise held back by feeling the need to recreate the same storyline with the stroke, with the family bloodline, with all that stuff like that? Or are we talking about had we not connected Laurie with Michael familial wise?
Yeah.
Would there ever have been as many sequels? Would Halloween just be dormant? So I mean,
it's hard to say.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
Maybe you're looking at they're trying to write a sequel to it, and they go, "Man, I got fucking nothing." Maybe Jamie Lee Curtis coming back for H2O, or Jamie Lee Curtis coming back for H2018 is the a big reason why those movies exist at all. But at the same time, if you could have it both ways, if you could have your druthers, I would say that yes, I do think it held back the storyline a little bit because, as we've always said, they've gone back to the Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode well so many times. What I'd really like to see is Michael stalk a brand new group of people, and they don't know why, and you don't know why. Well, and then it goes back to being as scary as it was, at least close to as scary as it was when you first saw it. Why is this guy doing this? I don't fucking know, and you don't need to fucking know. You know?
I know. I agree in some way. I don't know. I feel like it would be cool to see that, every movie he would be stalking a different, group of people or whatever. And he's just like this unstoppable evil force. But I feel like if you do that, then you're just getting, in some ways, a Jason ripoff. Because Jason pretty much just fucking kills anybody that comes into his Camp Crystal Lake. You come on my mama's property, you die. Like, it's almost like that. Like, it's like if you come into his field of vision and you're in his territory,
it's not a vacation residence like Crystal Lake.
Well, I know, but either way, it kind of, but because
I say take Michael out of fucking Haddonfield, dude.
Well, Jason Voorhees is a true force of nature. He doesn't care about anything else except killing whatever's in front of him.
Yeah.
If you do that, you're copy and pasting pretty much the same thing with Jason Voorhees. It's interesting. It's cool because then you get to take Michael Myers out of it. But Jason went to Manhattan, and we all know how that fucking turned out too. But the point being is, like, I think that Michael Myers, and also you won't have those interesting Dr. Loomis moments. I think that the Dr. Loomis Donald Pleasance dynamic works in favor of the familial bond because he understands what Michael's obsessed with is his sister or completing whatever sick rituals in his mind to go from there. I think
but Loomis's obsession is just with Michael. It doesn't his obsession isn't with the fact that he's trying to kill his family. You can
but he did say but once he gets the revelation in Halloween 2 that that's his sister, everything fucking changes. And then he goes in Halloween 4 and is all about the niece because he understands this familial type of sickness that he has that he wants to pass on the virus.
I see what you're saying. I'm just saying that, like, I mean, that would take 5 seconds of rewriting to where Loomis could still follow Michael knowing that he's going to kill. He might not just have a leg up on Michael. I mean, hell, I mean, dude, like, Haddonfield itself might be as much of a shackle as Laurie Strode or the family storyline, because you always know where he's going to go. The whole town knows he's going to strike there. But if you took Haddonfield and Laurie Strode away, then you don't know where he's going to strike. You don't know why he's going to strike. What if Michael's on the fucking road like he's been so many other times and he just strikes randomly? What if he doesn't have a reason for what he's doing?
It's interesting. And I like it. And I don't mind. Actually, they've exhausted all the familial stuff now. If they want to do that, that's fine. I'm just saying back then, I think it'd be a terrible mistake. And I think people would have accused them of literally just doing another Jason. It would be another Jason. He just kills at random. It doesn't have any fucking thing to do with his mommy or anything like that. Even though he thinks like, oh, well, you came into my camp, you're on my grounds, I'm going to kill you. But it's the same kind of filter. It's the same thing. I'm glad that they did what they did, but they've exhausted it. So if they want to go a different direction with it, I'm fine.
I see what you're saying. Well, what about this though? What if you took Michael out of Haddonfield and then, like, because Jason's stuck with Crystal Lake. I mean, he's stuck in that camp, even though he did leave, like, to go to, not only did he go to Manhattan, but he just went to that bitch's house in fucking suburbia and was like, I'm gonna kill you here.
He went to fucking Canada.
the second, he just went to fucking, but like, okay, so what if Michael, because we know Michael's a traveler, he traveled on H2O, he's traveled before, someone gave him lessons, the whole thing. We know he's willing to drive. What if Michael, instead of Haddonfield, because I know people are gonna say, oh, you can't not have Haddonfield. Look, you give me a fucking suburban street with pumpkins and leaves, fucking, you can call it whatever the hell you want to. I don't give a shit. As long as it has that Halloween
Salem's
feel.
Lot.
But what if Michael's thing is he gets off on killing people during Halloween season and he gets off on killing strictly babysitters? That could mean that you could have a new movie every single time, or you could try to tie it into other shit, whatever you want to do. But what if Michael just shows up across the globe, killing different babysitters, and these different movies are him? You got to, whatever kind of babysitter you want, babysitting the characters. Michael shows up and he starts trying to kill these. You don't know why it's specifically babysitters. It doesn't really even tie into his childhood, except for the fact that his sister was supposed to be babysitting him. She's upstairs banging the kid from Hanson up in her room. What if he's doing that and then look, it's not as obvious as Jason. Jason, it's like people die at Crystal Lake, send the fucking FBI to Crystal Lake, blow that shit apart, find him, shut down Crystal Lake. But this is a guy on the move all across the globe. No, one's safe.
I get it. No, I get it. And Janae actually pointed out another thing. Jason went to space. If you go that route, he literally can go fucking anywhere. It's an eye roll at that point. Like, if he's just gonna show up in fucking mainland China and he's killing babysitters on Halloween, like, what the fuck are you doing over there? Like, you just pop up like a leprechaun when the fucking moon is just on your tit. But I don't know. The thing about Michael. Well, no, the thing about Michael, I think you got to have some kind of driving force behind him, why he's doing what he's doing. The Jason thing, the Nightmare on Elm Street thing, Freddy Krueger, you get those guys. Like, you understand those guys. Michael Myers, you got to have a little bit more sustenance with him, like his mind, like what he's doing. Like, he's got to, like, and again, I like the idea of having a mystique Michael, but if he just shows up and pops up whenever he wants, it's just it's like fucking the Grudge shit, or it's like The Ring. Yeah. I like the fact that, again, the familial thing has been played out, and I enjoyed the familial thing. I think it was good, and I think it set Michael Myers above and separate from the rest of them. I think it really did.
They just couldn't sustain it the way you wanted them to. Like, they had an idea with H2O with the sun and shit. They just never sustained it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, actors not coming back, or they just didn't know how to write the story. But either way, now when we're moving into the future, if they want to do something else with Michael, or he's pursuing something and we don't know what it is, we have no idea what is the end goal for Michael Myers. Like, what exactly is he doing? I mean, you hear Loomis talk about he's purely and simply evil, but in that context, also you also hear Michael, or you hear Loomis talking about he's purely and simply evil, and he's killing his family members off. So you know that there's some kind of weird, like, he's doing something. He has to do that. Like, there's some kind of obsession with him to kill his family members off. Now, if he doesn't have that, you got to be real careful on how you on that new, like, without the familial bonds. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's Michael Unleashed, but, and again, we like the mystique, we like the mysticism, but there's got to be it's got to be handled really, really carefully.
I think that's how you do it, though. I think you're exactly right. I think you got, and it's dangerous to do this because 4 and 5 and the endings and everything got really fucking crazy. But if they go back to the old way of doing
beer on camera,
it'll be okay. But think about it this way, man. What happens? What if you go as you go, okay, and you start the series again, and Michael Myers, random babysitters at first. He's left Haddonfield. We don't know why he's left Haddonfield. Everyone else is safe. Oh, he's just going to kill in Haddonfield. You got another Halloween somewhere else, and he shows up, and Michael Myers shows up, and they're like, oh my God, it's the fucking story that we saw on that true crime thing from fucking whatever, but it's here. It shouldn't be here. Michael Myers, what if you do that for a movie, 2 movies, 3 movies tops? Kills at random. I get that Michael just can't show up every new movie and kill random people because it's too Jasonist or whatever, even though there's differences. But what if you go with what works when you get to what works? What if in the second movie you get a fucking Danielle Harris, you get a star, and there's something with this character, and you go, we need to stick with that. She's the survivor. She's the final girl who survives Michael, and there's something new there. And then you can work with that nuance as you go. And then maybe when it gets stale, he kills her, and then you gotta kind of think. But what if you had a new Loomis type character, a guy who's tracking him, and he's telling people, no, you don't understand. He's
like
left
a journalist.
Yeah, they're like, this isn't Jason Voorhees. This guy's left Haddonfield. He's on to something different. Oh, look, he's killing babysitters. Oh, and you've got this crazed detective. Doesn't have to be Loomis, but kind of like Loomis, this crazed detective who's tracking him across the entire globe. And then you also have that Loomis dynamic going with this new guy. And then every movie, you learn just a little bit more about why Michael's doing what he's doing, but you never learn exactly why. You never Rob Zombie it. Kind of like, what happened with the other movies. You just get a little bit each time.
I like it in a way, but I feel like if he's across the globe, it feels like you're like, where in the world is Michael San Diego? Like, I don't like that at all.
In Alaska.
And you have if a guy's tracking him, I think that's cool. But if he's just tracking him and the motherfucker pops up like he's Waldo, like, there you are, and you get a little bit more revealed out of Michael. The point being, I don't want to know about Michael. I don't want to know any fucking thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to know nothing. Like, we know why Jason does it. He was a deformed kid. His mom was the only one, his best friend, and then they let him drown.
And they're invading his territory.
Freddy Krueger, pretty easy. He was a pedophile. He got convicted and he got burned to death by the townsfolk. Now he's seeking vengeance. Pretty easy. What his motives are. The thing about Michael is literally one of the last few like question marks as far as like what his real intention is. Yeah, I saw somebody's like, well, did you guys forget about Halloween 6? No, I know about the Thorn thing. I mean, that was a good attempt for them to try to do that.
Shut in the dark, but you're too late.
But again, it's like, why do I need to know? I mean, and we liked Halloween 6 a lot, but why do I need to know anything about? I don't need to know anything about why he's doing it. The point is, he's literally, and Loomis had already said it. He's a force of fucking nature. He's pure evil. Like, you can't stop it. And you don't know why. And that's what scares people. What scares people is the fact that this little boy in a suburban neighborhood was raised right. And then all of a sudden this motherfucker goes like Damien Omen, like street level fighter, like Hadouken, and kills everybody and can't be stopped. That's fucking scary. And there's no motive.
Which is exactly why I think it's a good thing that they get rid of the familial storyline. Because, I mean, it's no motive. They give you a little bit each movie. You learn a little bit, but not enough. It's just toying with you. It's letting you know, oh, what if we go here this time? You don't actually go there. You just fucking and it keeps the mystery of Michael Myers alive.
It's also really interesting, and it's hard. I think that you'd have a lot of butthurt fans if you go out on your own and you don't conclude. It's almost like you say, well, Jason's trapped by Crystal Lake. I think that Michael is trapped by Haddonfield and the Laurie Strode's legacy. That's just the way it's going to be. And I don't think they're going to ever go outside the box.
But the
reason why, well, they should maybe. But the fact is, like, it works for them and it's worked so well. I don't think they're going to do it because the fact is, if you find fucking Michael Myers in Washington State, all the way from Illinois, like just killing people, and then he all of a sudden shows up in I don't know, the ghost thing.
Look at Ted Bundy. I mean, like, look at these other serial killers. They traveled. Michael's traveled before he went to fucking California.
But Ted Bundy was, I know, but and those are real people. But I'm saying, but they were obsessed with like one thing. Like they were obsessed. They were following like a particular girl, like the way. So it would almost make like Michael like almost some kind of like sexual predator in a way.
Well, I mean, Ted Bundy wasn't. He was just going to random girls. So the heat would get on him, and he'd go to another spot. You know what I mean?
I just don't. I just yeah. It's interesting. I mean, yeah, we got to do something different with Michael at some point. After the Halloween 2018 trilogy is over, we got to do something different.
And that's my point. Yeah, and not only that, dude, but why does Haddonfield have to be a character? Haddonfield could be any suburban town with a fall dressing. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that. Jason. The thing about Jason is that, again, you know where he is. Everybody knows where these deaths are occurring. Everybody knows where these teens are disappearing. If you were going to legit, and that's what you kind of have to do in 2021, you have to make it realistic. If Michael kept coming back to Haddonfield at every couple Halloweens and killing people, all that they would do is they would bring in the FBI every Halloween and they would shut shit down. Michael wouldn't be able to fucking get around the corner without being disguised.
And Jason Goes to Hell, and then he fucking made people eat his heart.
But that was stupid.
I mean, but nonetheless, it just, I guess it was them attempting to show like he's a force of fucking evil. Like he doesn't just live there.
I'm just thinking about how they could literally, instead of just doing little things of movies, how they could literally project Michael into the future for forever. And I think to do that, you got to unshackle him. And at first, that's going to be kind of uncomfortable, like sex in the backseat of a Volkswagen. But I think it could, in the end, it could be really freeing.
I think that you got to get the right story, but also it's got to be damn near perfect. Because if they do it wrong, people will fucking hate your goddamn guts.
But hey, if it's scary, no one's gonna give a fuck that they left Haddonfield or that Laurie Strode's not in it. You know, if it's scary.
Halloween 2018 it discounted everything else. I mean, like people, it took them a while. It took them a while to get over it, but the fact is they kept it in Haddonfield and they kept the whole thing going.
And you can use that as your marketing team. Like you don't like in the marketing for the movie. This is a Michael you've never seen before. You don't know this Michael. This Michael's unshackled. This Michael's not chasing one particular person.
I think what they'll do after the trilogy is I think that, you know what, and we've already talked about this. I think that I would do it. Make a sequel to Halloween 8. I'll just go back to I want my basic Legos. I want to play with my Lego fucking set. Yeah. All right. So we left off with, him waking up in the morgue. Go fucking kill Buster Rhymes. Get your balls back. That's one.
I want it. I really do.
You know why? I'd only want to do that just so he can go kill Buster Rhymes and get his fucking balls back. That would be within the first 25 minutes of the movie. He would stalk fucking Buster Rhymes and kill his ass.
I have a whole idea for Halloween 9. I really do. I got to pee first, though. Maurice the Beast Vlog says, hi, what did I miss so far, you funky butt lovers? We talked about a Halloween theory, and we talked about Rob Zombie directing the Munsters.
Fun, man. This has been like going into like theory of theory of the intergalactic species. It's like you walked into a college course like, what the fuck are they talking about? They're talking about weird theories.
Sure. And Austin said Halloween itself summons its avatar of violence every October 31st is how I always thought of it. Also explains his immortality. Halloween is Michael. That's an interesting thought too. And real quick, because again, my camera's dying and I really got to piss. But what if Michael was an entity that we truly didn't understand? And what if every single Halloween across the entire globe, imagine, dude, if this is the true boogeyman, this is the real thing, every year. And you could even start the movie with one of those weird fucking 90s like quick shots of the news being like 10 years later, like no one knows why, but every year on Halloween, a man in white shows up and kills a random family. We don't know how he got there. We don't know what his purpose is. We don't know what's going on. The entire country is in fear, and you can't cover the entire country in FBI.
It's Colonel Sanders, all in white.
He's going to strike randomly, and you don't know how, why, or when. That's pretty frightening.
Didn't they write the book, though, on him having the rune curse or whatever? Like it was passed down generational, it was like originally, like they already did that. They already did like the thorn thing in the books. Like they were talking about but they already did like that. It was a fucking entity that they were praising the gods, and it was like passed on to a kid.
Well, they never put it into practice as far as him showing up randomly in different places.
Well, I know, but that was the point. Like that was the only way to contain the evil is you got to sacrifice the fucking young boy.
Right. But
then they just inhabit it.
Well, yeah, but they never directly said what it was anyways. And again, he never just showed up randomly anywhere. Ryder says, hi, Flops. Hey, Ryder. You're a flop. Ryder. DJ Dream Entertainment
Flop says, drops.
Guys, what if all teenage girls remind him of Judith? Linda died, Annie got the gravestone, and Lori thinks she's special, wasted her life in fear. Thoughts? That's a good point, too.
I think the tombstone was Michael was like, fuck, I should have waited. He was like, I was so excited to like get my kill off, and I was like, I'm gonna put the tombstone right here, but I didn't know she was gonna come over so quick. I could have killed her first.
Shit, I blew my load too early.
Dude, you know how heavy that motherfucker was to carry up the steps without any help? I didn't have two guys in a truck. I had to carry that myself.
All right, I'll be right
By the
back.
way, dude, you ever thought about that though? You think about
What?
this: if the bonus feature, Michael carrying the tombstone up the stairs, and you
God
go,
damn.
"Oh shit,
So many
fuck,
steps.
I hate Loomis." Yeah. I gotta pee really bad too. I should have called it first. Fuck me for being stupid. I was dumb. Hey guys, we hope you guys are having an awesome time, a sexy time. It's definitely one of our longer videos as far as like we've only discussed 2 topics, I guess 3, but it's almost 10 o'clock and we've got some more news to go. So I hope you guys have had, as much of a good time as we have had. Holy shit. Mike just got killed by Michael Myers. You see what happens when you talk shit and say you got to leave Haddonfield? Mike just died. Actually says use that cup, Jay. I can't because I can't. It's dark in here. I got this blue fucking Aqua World light going on. It's not good. I don't like that. Weak bladder. Yes, I like how you were like, God damn, who said that? JT Customs like weak bladder. You sound like a military man. Sir, I gotta go to the bathroom. I don't know. I'm nervous. Like weak bladder. Hold it in, soldier. And if you die, you didn't ask permission. No, Egg. I can't go. It'll be all right. I'm not like dying over here, but Gypsy Warrior says, Jay, Mike said you watched Free Britney. I don't know if I watched all of it. I think I did, maybe. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch all of it. It's pretty interesting stuff. It really is. I think that she's gone through a fucked up situation, and I'm not like one of those guys like leave Britney alone. God damn. But I really do think that her dad and certain situations in her life has been really stacked against her, and I think that I feel bad for her. I mean, honestly, I really do feel bad for her because I think that not only did her dad take advantage of her mental state, I think that she was going through some problems, which we all do, stress, anxiety, things like that. The dad came in, took advantage of that. And then on top of that, Justin Timberlake, before that even, had used her to kind of bolster his own fame. And again, I like Justin Timberlake. He even actually came out. I did read that he came out and apologized for what he did, recognizing the fact that, hey man, it's Hollywood. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like he was like Pauly D or some shit, but he did. I hope that she does better, or I hope that everything works out in the future for her. And I think her dad's a piece of shit. I think her whole family's kind of fucked up. And that's what happens, man, when you get these redneck fucking families like, well, I didn't know that girl could sing and she's making all these kinds of money. You get every motherfucker like goddamn termites coming out of the woodwork to try to claim credit for it. Blu-ray Addict says, Jay, have you ever watched Better Call Saul? No, I never watched it. I wanted to. That's the guy. That's the lawyer from Breaking Bad, right? I never watched it. I wanted to though. Brad Faulkner says people's obsession with celebrities are weird. Yeah, I wasn't obsessed with Britney. I don't give a shit. I just feel bad for her. And it was like it was a documentary that I watched, but yeah, it's pretty strange, man, to be honest. Drum 72 said, Jay, you are cooler than those people. Thanks, man. I try to keep my room at least at a 70-degree temperature. I try to stay cool every time I can, if that's what you're talking about. 100%. Donna M says her dad took mud baths with her, which is fucking weird. If that really happened, that's fucking nasty. That's weird. Hey, daughter, move over a little bit so I can slide my old fucking rusty asshole into this mud bath. This is normal for a dad-daughter bonding moment. Ryder says, I'm getting so lit. Yeah, you are. And you better listen to some lit. That's what you got to do. Hi, Dirty D. How you doing? Dirty Diana. Oh. Yeah, man. I'm trying to think of like, what was the last documentary I watched on a celebrity that I was like, fuck. I think the last thing that I watched was that Michael Jackson one. Finding Neverland or Leaving Neverland. I don't know, but it's so hard. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I liked Michael Jackson. I thought Michael Jackson, like, released incredible music, really ahead of its time in the way that he produced the music itself, and the sound. I just think he was great. And then you have these guys coming out talking about all this crazy stuff. Whether or not it happened, I don't know, because there's a lot of shit that came out afterwards about these people. One of them was like a backup dancer for um Mariah Carey or some shit. I don't fucking know. I can't remember. And he hadn't done a lot of work, and then they were accusing him of like just doing this and bullshitting all of the stuff to get money. And then the maid was pissed off. The fact is, she was fired from the Michael Jackson estate because she stole shit from Michael Jackson's estate. Like, that's why she was fired. She wasn't fired because she saw weird shit going on, even though she might have. I'm not saying that she didn't, but the fact is that why she was terminated was she was stealing shit, and they found out about it and they terminated her. So Action says, what is Kentucky like? I don't know, man. It's like if you buy an 8-ball from Walmart or something and you shake it up and you're like, what's the weather going to be like today? And you get like the bubbly response. It doesn't really give you a full answer. It's kind of like that. It's not bad. You just got to know how to stay away from certain areas. Like Mike and I have gone to certain areas before, got our asses kicked, or Mike did. I didn't, because I decided not to interfere. But it's one of those. Kentucky is it's a hodgepodge area. You get everything here. You get Detroit's 8 Mile. You get your Marshall Mathers. You get your John Michael Montgomerys. You get your Incubus. You get your Fred Durst, and then you get your Kid Rock, and then you just get people that are caught in the middle, and that's pretty much what we are. Yeah. It's not a bad state. It's not a bad state. I don't shit on Kentucky, but you got to be really careful on the parts you go.
That's true.
Because if you go on the bad part of the ride, you're going to get fucked up, sir.
Yeah. I like it here, but and weather the same thing. You don't get too much of anything, but you don't get anything that great either.
Oh yeah, there's nothing here. I mean, the closest thing we have is Kings Island, as far as an amusement park goes, and that's in Ohio. So we got to go. We got to travel like 2 hours to get to an amusement park. Kentucky, we had Kentucky Kingdom, and I don't even know if that fucker shut down or not.
I don't remember. I don't like roller coaster parks. They scare me.
But Kings Island used to be the place to go. I mean, that would be the place to go, and that's in Ohio. But yeah, we don't really have any kind of attraction here. Like, people are like, hey, what's in Kentucky? You like fried chicken? Not everybody does, asshat. But yeah. Actually, it's funny, dude. If you go to other countries or whatever, and you say you're from Kentucky, they will instantly say fried chicken.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. Does that get me in bed with you? Because you're a hot Russian. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go pee now.
All right. Yeah, when Jay gets back, we got Creed 3 news to cover, and then we will talk about the Snyder Cut, as promised. All the crazy news coming out with that today. Went a little long on the Halloween stuff, but, I go a little long all the time. I'm sorry about that. I apologize to everyone who I just spoke to that way. Hey, 362 people in here. Give it up to yourselves. Make sure you smash that like button. God, I hate it when people fucking say that. But honestly, I think it probably helps, so, don't smash it. Just tickle its taint a little bit. It'll make you feel good inside. It makes me feel good. That's awesome. Wednesday fucking night. 362 people here this late at night. Pretty cool. Pretty goddamn cool, man. I got my Smith's Grove cup. Drinking my apple juice. It's good for you. It makes you strong. Makes you real strong. Deep in your tchotchkes. Man, I do. I love Kentucky, too. I do. We don't get the greatest weather, but when we do get nice weather, it's nice, but we don't get the worst weather either. You never know, man. Might have you a tornado, might have you some snow, might have you a nice fucking day outside. Hey, man, anything goes. Anything goes. Oh, shit. How y'all doing tonight? How the fuck is you? Ready to talk about some fucking movie news? I is. Friday night, we got Damian Maffei of Haunt, of the new Wrong Turn movie, old potato sack head in Strangers Pray at Night, and we're hoping that he'll get his role that he's coveted for the new Silent Night, Deadly Night movie. but we're going to talk to him. He's a good buddy. Excited for that show on Friday night. So make sure y'all tune back in after you clicky that subscribe button. Get it up in you. Yeah, it's apple juice, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. Daniel, we asked James Shoe Courtney. We'll see what happens there. We'd love to have him on there. Kevin, my first name's James. It's weird. 2 first names. Whenever I go to like something corporate or a job or school, I was going to James. That way, what I do is Mike. I can get freaky in the fucking knot, man. Nobody knows it was me. Like a goddamn haberdashery. Shit like that. Maurice the Beast Vlog says, y'all need to put on a catheter for these streams. Yeah, I know. We also smoke, though. That's it's not just pee-pee breaks. We don't pee that long. Shit, man. That'd be a long pee-peer. Austin said, make him say garbage day. Hey, maybe we will. Give a little screen test. Garbage day. And it was recently the 3-year anniversary of Pray at Night, so that's pretty cool. I'll never forget going to see Strangers Pray at Night because I had a massive fucking panic attack in the movie theater. Not because of the movie, but I was working third shift at the time and doing the channel full time, so I was really burned out at both ends. And I get off 8 a.m. On a night shift, and me and my wife go see the movie at 1 o'clock the next day, and I hadn't slept yet, and I just had a fucking massive panic attack in the line to buy our tickets, and like had to go outside, like breathe. So the first half of the movie, I was sitting there going, "You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good," you know, and it ended up being fine. Fine movie though. Strangers Pray at Night's a fun horror sequel for sure, man. And shout out to everybody who has anxiety because that shit sucks, especially when you're in public and shit like that happens. Oh, man. Yeah, I like to think I'm more of a Mike in real life, not a James. James is my professional name. You know? It's my professional name. It is. And also next week, we're planning on having Eric Striffler on the show from Pretty Much It, so that'll be a fun one. And we're still working on getting some interviews with some other people, too, so the interviews will continue. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time of the night. For sure. What do you guys think, though? Let me ask you this. Would you rather a brand new storyline for Halloween, as we were talking about before, take place after Halloween Ends is over with? Brand new, fresh storyline with Halloween, new family, new story, all that stuff. Not a reboot, but just Michael showing up doing crazy shit. Or would you rather have them jump back in and actually make Halloween 9 and pick up from the end of Resurrection? Because what I've always wanted to see also is I'd like to see a movie be ballsy enough to go back and pick up after Resurrection. Michael's eyes open in the middle of the morgue that they've taken him to, right? And the story just picks up from there. Fuck all the busted shit. Fuck all that stuff. It's in the past. Michael's in a morgue. It's on lockdown. They think he's dead. You got an asshole guy coming in there listening to his fucking Walkman or whatever, trying to bang the chicks he works with, you know, zipping Michael up, doing the shit. Michael's eyes open. He kills them. The entire place goes on lockdown. The morgue goes on lockdown. They send a SWAT team in, and you've got Michael in this fucking morgue and all these people in there. The news cameras outside going crazy. Michael Myers is still alive and on the loose inside of this place. And then it's Michael trying to find his way through this morgue. The SWAT team members coming in, the different people that work there, all that shit going on. I think that could make for a fucking wild movie. And then you could pick it up there, depending on which characters work out the best, who your final guy or girl is. I think that could be pretty cool. Gypsy Warrior says, Mike, do you have any advice on how to stop intrusive thoughts during panic attacks? They really leave me exhausted. I'm not good at it, man. Be honest, 100% honest with you guys. I had one last night. My stomach started hurting. And the next thing I know, I'm fucking wigging out thinking a million things are wrong with me. The only advice I have is to get rest, to take care of yourself, to realize it's not your fault, to not put too much stress on yourself, because I feel bad for the family members of people like me who have anxiety, because when they happen, you know, it's hard for someone to know nothing's actually wrong with you, but to also be sympathetic. So, and it's hard for the person having the attack too, to not be too down on themselves, because they know what they're putting their family and other people through. And that's a hard part of it too. But I think that's the best thing I can tell you, man, is just be good to yourself, take care of yourself, and it'll work its way through. You know, it'll work its way through. Do what you need to do. Do whatever you got to do. If you got to go to the fucking hospital, man, do it. If you got to go pay a bunch of money to get a bunch of tests done, do what you got to do. And don't be too hard on yourself. That's the only advice I have. I mean, there's not really, you know, there's not a cure-all for it, except for to just continually do whatever it is you got to do. I don't have them too bad anymore. When I got them, and when they were really bad for me at first is because I wasn't taking care of myself. I was working too much and I wasn't sleeping, and it was a shit show. But I've been able to maintain them now. They only just come randomly now. So it's just one of those things, man. Don't be too hard on yourself. Take care of yourself. That's the best advice I can give you. James Jackson says, for work, I use James, and for friends and family, I use my middle name, Aaron. Same thing, dude. For work and shit, I use James. I go by Mike everywhere else. I don't know why. I don't know why I started doing that. I think it's because professionally, I always have to sign James, so it's just like that professional me is James me.
Because you're trying to be awesome, and you can't be.
Precisely.
It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
No, I've always gone, my real name is Jonathan, but it's weird. Like every place I've ever, it's Jonathan or John. But I've never gone by Toller, which is my middle name. Because it's like, oh yeah, there comes Big Toe.
Big Toller, man. Come through
Big
Toe.
Toe coming in here. Big Toe. God damn.
Maurice the Beast Vlog says, my middle name is Mike too. I say Halloween after Resurrection. That ending got me pumped for the next installment. That's why I asked him, like, would you rather do a Halloween 9 or a brand new thing? Which I think is an interesting question for sure. Kool-Aid Unleashed says, I have an idea for a slasher that takes place in a world with superpowers, and the main slasher has the power to control your senses. You can control what you see, hear, fear, smell, and taste. That's a pretty fucking cool idea, dude. I like that.
I don't like that's like Professor Xavier getting that little taste of exotic power and abusing it. I like it. It's like Onslaught. Onslaught would be like that.
Yeah. Like that could do some wild shit. That's like Freddy Krueger on steroids, Get you when you're awake too. And basically, that kind of is anxiety right there, right? Just your fucking body just tells you, oh, no, my lung just fell out. It could do whatever it fucking wants to you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Halloween 3 to talk about. Snyder Cut to talk about. Gary Catlow says, that demented cat noise at the end when Michael opens his eyes always used to fuck me up, LOL. I can't remember the sound in my head. I blocked out a lot of that movie.
I kind of remember it. I don't know. I guess I just it was a wild pussy in the night. I just passed it over. I'm like, yeah, somebody's drunk and having a good time tonight.
Chap Wilson's going fucking nuts in there. Why do you ignore your fans? Why are you on OnlyFans?
What do you mean?
I don't know what he's talking about. It's just saying weird shit.
What do you mean, sir?
We ignore you. We ignore everyone. I don't know.
I haven't looked at the chat in 3 months.
All right, Rocky 3. God damn it, I keep saying Rocky 3. I wish it was fucking Rocky 3. But
yeah, by the way, somebody said Creed 3, not Halloween 3. I think you said Halloween 3.
I probably fucking did, man. No,
it's all right.
Me. But no, this was a story again posted on WeWatchTheMovie.com. Make sure you guys sign up for that newsletter. But Creed 3 is happening. It was officially announced today. But Michael B. Jordan is going to be directing this version of Creed 3. He's never directed anything before. This will be his first thing that he's actually directed. But the thing about this is there's no word of Stallone anywhere in the press release. Michael B. Jordan said, directing has always been an aspiration, but the timing had to be right. Creed 3 is that moment, a time in my life where I've grown more sure of who I am, holding agency in my own story, maturing physically, growing professionally, and learning from greats like Ryan Coogler, most recently Denzel Washington, and other top-tier directors I respect, all of which sets the table for this moment. But let me ask you this. I mean, why is there no mention in this goddamn anything anywhere of fucking Stallone?
Because he's training to take down Drago in the fucking mountains of the Alps. I mean, look, we talked about this. Mike and I briefly discussed this before the stream went live. Look, if you're going to continue on the Creed franchise without Stallone, it's fine. I mean, I don't really give a shit that much. It's kind of crazy to do that, but at the same time, I'm not that mad about it. The thing is, it makes me worried a little bit about the Rocky angle, because at some point, Michael B. Jordan's character, a Creed, is going to have to discuss why Rocky's not in his corner, because Stallone doesn't want, he's not going to be a part of this at all. So, yeah, man, I don't really give a shit as long as I don't touch the Rocky legacy, I'm fine with it. I don't really, and I'm not trying to be an asshole here. I mean, I liked Creed and I liked Creed 2, but I also loved seeing Stallone back in the Rocky role. That's what I like to fucking see. And I was happy to see it. Creed 3, I'll still watch it 100%, but will I have the same emotional entanglements that I had before? No, probably not. because he's not going to be in it. I think the main concern is how they're going to treat the Rocky legacy going forward. And if they do some stupid shit with it, I'm going to be real goddamn mad. Okay, I'm going to fucking cancel my subscription to Southern Living like that.
Yeah, it's sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say. When I saw the story, Stallone's not a part of Creed 3. It's cool, I guess, because Stallone's done his part. Like, he's made like fucking what, 8, not, I mean, if you're going to include Creed 1 and 2, he's made like 9 fucking Rocky movies. And if he wants to move on from it, fine. Let the motherfucker retire in peace. But if you're gonna have some kind of weird situation where Rocky is no longer relevant, or he becomes some kind of drunken slob like Paulie, fuck that shit, and you will hear from my lawyers.
Well, like, and I agree. Like, my only thing is this: how are you going to continue that story without Stallone? Now, I did find out after I wrote that story that Stallone a couple months back said that he's on like an Instagram fan question thing. Stallone said, "No, I'm not going to have anything to do with Creed 3." He said that.
Yeah.
And he said that he had written a Rocky 7, but he was unsure of how to proceed with it because it didn't involve a lot of in-the-ring stuff, and he wasn't sure how fans would react to it. And I agree with that, too. I'm not sure how fans would react to that either.
It's like fucking watching Danny Tanner raise his 2 twin daughters.
But
you got to be in the ring, Rock.
But
get in the ring.
But you do this whole thing, and you announce the movie, and like, oh, yeah, Michael, like, and nobody even mentions Stallone at all. Like, at least for one, let's talk about the character first. The character in the first 2 movies was in bad health, right? That was kind of a theme of the movies. Are you going to start? And they haven't officially said he's not going to be in the movie. He said a couple months ago he wasn't going to, but in the press release, it was like he was a ghost. He wasn't mentioned at all. It's weird to me that if you're going to have Creed continue on without Rocky, that's fine, because you can't continue to do the same story over and over again. I get that. But at least Rocky this is Rocky's fucking franchise, man. If Rocky's not going to be in the movie, you should have his death in the goddamn movie. And I don't want to see Rocky die or anything like that, but what I really don't want to see is Creed 3 when they go, oh yeah, Rocky, he died. Anyways, what's going on with this guy? This is Rocky's fucking franchise, man. And Rocky Balboa and Sylvester Stallone, they decided to take the franchise to a different direction, and they decided to take on Michael B. Jordan and make him the star of the show. Adonis Creed, that whole thing. If he's going to do that for them, then they should really honor what Sylvester Stallone did, and they should honor the character of Rocky Balboa, and not just be like, "Oh, he died. This is about us now."
Yeah,
fuck you.
If you write his death off screen, and it has no traumatic or impactful moment in the movie except for to say, "Yo, you had that trainer Rocky Balboa, but unfortunately he died of heart disease." I'm like, suck my fucking dick, you bastard, because then I'll be like, well, now you've taken Rocky. You've taken the Italian stallion, the one that's done the impossible, that the man went to war in the ring, and you've written him off. You've written him off like he didn't matter at all. I don't want that at all. I don't want that to happen. But if they're just going to take the franchise in a different direction without even mentioning Rocky, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. Actually, if they only mention him for a moment in passing, like, oh yeah, didn't you get trained by Rocky? And he was like, yeah, I did, but Rocky, he's got his own thing. He's running his restaurant or whatever. I'll be fine with that, because then that leaves the room open for Stallone to go back and do his own Rocky thing. Now, Stallone saying that he wants to do something without, being in the ring, like I said, it's Stallone's thing. I mean, I get it, but Rocky 5 sucked. And I just did not like Rocky 5. You took him back to the dirt poor farm that he started from, and then Tommy Gunn was a great character.
You stripped him from
God damn, only in America. But it was cool. It was cool moments, but you pretty much ruined everything he'd been building for in Rocky 4, and then you just took him back down to the slums.
And he never got it back again. That was the worst part. He never got it back.
My ring's outside. Yeah, mine is too. Like, see, like I didn't like Rocky 5 at all, and I mean it's grown on me a little bit. I've watched it, again, and it's a good flick, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel like a Rocky movie. It just feels like some kind of fucking Nick Nolte, like The Warrior or something. Like it, like an old guy that used to be awesome back in his day, training a new young stud. I feel like Rocky Balboa should have been the swan song for Rocky. Like it really should have been. Like, I mean, in my opinion, I love every new Rocky movie that comes out, but at the same time, Rocky Balboa should have been the swan song because he didn't die in the ring. He went the distance with the new champ, and you could have ended it that way. But Stallone coming out and saying like, well, it's not going to take place in the ring. I don't like that shit at all. Like, I think that's a terrible mistake. You might as well sell that shit to fucking ABC Family and have them put the Rocky story and like have them like cast Ashley Mary Jane and Mary Kate and Ashley as the fucking twin daughters that Rocky had.
I think that I'll be honest with you, man. Creed 3 without Rocky and I understand all the arguments for it. Like, okay, the franchise, Rocky, you gotta let it go. You gotta move on. Man, but it feels if I'm being honest, it feels kind of like a slap in the face as a fan because you're like, man, I jumped on board of Creed. I knew it couldn't be another Rocky movie, but I jumped on board of Creed. I supported this new character. I supported this new thing. And I jumped on board of Creed 2. And it felt like we were given a new star of the spotlight, and that was cool. Mm-hmm. But something I think happened, dude. I think something happened on Creed 2 because I if I'm not mistaken, I do remember there being a story where Sylvester Stallone wanted, and I could be mistaken about this again, I'm paraphrasing, but I remember a story where Sylvester Stallone wanted Rocky to have an actual fight with Drago's son's something like I don't know if it was Dolph Lundgren or something, but I heard
about that.
Yeah, he wanted a fight to take place, and I think that Ryan Coogler or someone told him, no, we're not going to do that. You're the trainer. You're not the focus of the movie or whatever. And then I wonder if that's not why after Creed 2 was done, Stallone said, I'm not doing Creed 3. I'm maybe even writing my own movie now. But
it's possible because Stallone's pretty you got to imagine, man, Rocky's his baby. Like Rocky's his baby, just like Rambo's his baby. Like, and some corporate, tight neck comes in and says, "I don't feel like that's a good idea, Stallone." And he's probably like, "Man, I mean, I kept this motherfucker buoyed for years. I know what I'm doing here." And he's like, "No, well, listen, I like to have Mentos in my mouth in the morning, and I'm ready to go in the afternoon, and I know business, and you're not a businessman." And he's like, "Well, they said I couldn't read, Adrian. I don't know. I mean, I was like, I feel like he was pretty much like, yeah, fuck this. I feel like, dude,
well, hey, JT,
we don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna speculate on whether there was some kind of bad blood going on, and that's why he couldn't be a part of Creed 3. But I also feel like it's just Michael B. Jordan wanting to do his own thing, and like go out on his own. And again, more power to him, man. And again, but to be honest, TBH, and I had to look that up to be honest, what that meant. TBH, I don't give that much of a fuck about Apollo Creed's son moving on and doing his own thing. I don't care. It's Rocky. It's a Rocky story, my bro. It's always been Rocky. And you mentioned it earlier. Creed 1 and Creed 2 was what we wanted to see because Rocky was in it. Yeah. I want to see more Rocky Balboa. If he's not going to be in it, I'm probably not going to give a shit. So
yeah,
more power to whatever.
I'll watch almost any well-made boxing movie, and I think Michael B. Jordan's a great actor. It's just I don't know, man. I got a weird feeling that this whole thing's gonna rub me the wrong way because, like, if you're gonna do a press release and you're gonna come out and you're gonna say, "Hey, I'm doing this movie because all the great directors and people I've worked with," and you're not even gonna say Sylvester Stallone. You're you're doing a fucking Rocky, like this franchise and where it's at now is literally built on what he did. And he was willing, he had to have some say in that, handing the keys over and trying to push that. You're not even going to fucking throw a thank you. You're not even going to say anything. You're not going to give him, any respect in that. The whole thing rubs me the wrong. And maybe they will. But to me, to come out and do like, oh, I'm doing my own movie now. It's about me. It's about all this stuff like that. And respect to all these great directors and actors I've worked with. Not mention Sly Stallone. I don't know, man. I don't like that.
It's scary. It's a scary thought of how they want to push the franchise and about what will happen to the character Rocky Balboa. It's kind of the same thing for me if they came out with like a Rey movie from Star Wars and they just discounted Luke Skywalker 100%. It didn't matter. It'd be called Star Wars Rey's Rising.
And even then, that's a movie with multiple actors in it. This is one singular actor.
Well, but yeah, it's discounting the guy that literally it's Luke fucking Skywalker. It's the guy that built the franchise. It's Luke Skywalker. At that point, you're a dumbass. And Rey, I have my problems with her. I don't think that she was all that great. I really don't. I never did, and I never will. I feel like she was way overpowered. Anyway, my point being on the Star Wars topic is a different video. My point being is that it's the same. Like, you can't, if they wrote Luke Skywalker off like he didn't matter, it's the same thing if they did the same thing in Creed 3 and like, oh, well, Rocky didn't matter. But I get it. In the Rocky universe, Apollo Creed was already his own dude. He was already his own guy. He'd already established his own legacy, and this is his son moving on from that. But then you didn't need to include Rocky, but you did. You included Rocky to get Creed up to the level that he needed to be to honor his father, and he was in the last two. I'm just nervous, man. And not to mention that Michael B. Jordan, and again, nothing against Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan's a great actor. Is he a good director? That's, we don't know. We don't know. And we have no idea how he's going to execute the Creed 3 storyline. But I'll leave it like this. No Rocky, no Tiki. I don't give tickets. I don't give shit. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so, 316. But no, I don't care. I want to see more Rocky. And if Rocky's done, if literally Sylvester Stallone is coming out and saying, I'm done with the franchise, then I'm done with the franchise. You can do all the fucking Creed movies you want. And it's a great boxing movie. Yeah, sure, I'll watch it when it's free on TV. I don't give that much of a fuck to go pay money to see your Creed movie without Rocky Balboa.
I could even be invested in a Creed 3, but I need to. This story was built on Rocky. It's the whole fucking idea of the movie is Rocky. How are you going to tell me that you're going to move on to a next movie and you're not going to close out Rocky's story? You're talking about passing. Oh yeah, part of the reason I'm training really hard is because my trainer Rocky died. Like, how are they going to honor Sylvester Stallone? How are they going to honor Rocky Balboa, the character? If you're not even going to mention him in the press release for the movie, you're not even going to take it. By the way, Sylvester Stallone's not in it. They didn't even bother to say that. They just didn't mention his name at all. Like, if they do the Creed 3 and they move on the franchise, fine. I get it. They have to move on. That's the whole idea of Stallone being a nice enough guy to be willing to pass the torch with those first two movies. But if you've got to, this is the Rocky franchise, you've at least got to close out that arc with an important Rocky 3. It would be perfect. Creed 3, Rocky 3, Mick died in Rocky 3. It was a big plot point. It was a huge deal.
It was great, yeah.
To me,
sad as fuck, yeah.
Why would Stallone not come into Creed 3, have a huge arc in the middle of the movie, let him deliver an Oscar-worthy performance when he passes away, but he tells Adonis Creed, hey, this is what I want for you.
Dude.
Let that be the galvanizing moment of the fucking movie.
I agree 100%. If I got to see Rocky die, and I don't want to ever fucking see, I really don't do. I don't know. There would never be enough bottles to contain all the manly tears that would be spilt that day. There would never be. Okay, there would never be. But if I gotta see it, you gotta pay the respects. You gotta give the legacy of Rocky Balboa the right send off. And Burgess Meredith was great. In that one moment, just to come back, because he knew his character was going to be written off the script. He came back and he delivered an amazing, tearful, moment with Rocky Balboa. And he's like, Mick, oh no, Mick. I mean, it makes me teary even talking about it. But like having that moment would be great. But at the same time, and again, we've already talked about it. If he's not in it, I wish the best of luck to Michael B. Jordan. I wish the best of luck to the series, but I could give a fuck less about Creed without Rocky Balboa. That's just the way I look at it. It's like trying to do your Robin movie without Batman. I don't give a shit. And the fact that he's not even in it, if he's not in it at all, if Sly is not in it even a little bit, then that means that I don't know if he didn't approve it. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have, he's like, yeah, that's great, man. You did a good job. Go ahead and do your own thing. Or if it's because you're trying to distance yourself from the Italian Stallion and create your whole new Creed. But here's the bad news for you. Here's the bad news for you. It spawned off Rocky's nutsack. You're never going to do it. You're never going to have Creed be as popular as Rocky ever. So
what it tastes like, what it looks like,
vanilla mint,
what it tastes like. It's like they use what's it look, but no, what it tastes like, dude, is that Stallone had some ideas for Creed 2,
Yeah.
and they said no, and they took the creative control from him. And after, he was like, I'm gonna be professional, I'm gonna finish this movie, but afterwards I'm done.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, well, we're gonna continue the franchise. And Stallone's done, and they're done taking ideas from him, and that's just where we are at this point. But to me, I just can't imagine, if you're gonna move on from Rocky again, just, you should at least from step 1 to step 10 be like, this franchise exists because of Rocky Balboa, because of what Stallone did in the director's chair at times, the writer's chair at times, the actor's chair at times. It rubs my ass the wrong way to make a press release about Creed 3, a movie based on the franchise that Sylvester Stallone built, and you're not even going to be like, hey, respect the Sylvester Stallone a little bit. That's just, I don't like it.
Yeah, I feel, and again, I hope the movie's good. I really do. I'm not like wishing bad skid marks on it or anything like that. I just feel like I feel like, you're taking out like a central equation of the whole series, and you're a bit like, oh yeah, fuck it, we don't need our kneecaps to walk. We can walk without kneecaps. Like I feel like it's a weird decision. And again, if Creed 3 is awesome, I mean, we'll definitely eat our words, but and I've already said this, man, I have no desire, none, to see it without Rocky. Yeah. I don't. If it's a good movie, I'll watch it, just for the sake of watching it, but I could give a fuck less if Rocky Balboa is not in Creed 3. Because if you're going to do Creed 3, you have Rocky come in, you give him a couple of scenes, and then if you're going to kill him off, God forbid, you do it in the right way. You do it in a good way.
Give maybe a fucking Oscar-worthy send.
Yeah, you maybe have him step into a gymnasium. Imagine this. This powerful boxer, this badass that can't be stopped. And I know we've done this before, but this powerful boxer steps into the gymnasium that Creed trains at, and Rocky's the only one there, and he's like sweeping up or whatever, and he goads him into the ring, and you have this moment where Rocky's like, oh, I got to defend myself. He gets in the ring, he puts on the gloves one more fucking time, and you have this fucking showdown, right? This Apollo Creed versus the unstoppable Russian. And he's giving him it all, and he fucking cuts him one time, and then this motherfucker is just unstoppable, and Rocky's too old, and finally kills him. And then and Adonis Creed finds him dead in the morning in the gym, or something like that.
Yeah, because
he was defending his student. He was defending something like that would be fine.
Anything is a send off to Rocky. Let Rocky go out in the way that he came in. I think I think you just said it there. I think that's actually what bothers me about it, is that the soul of Rocky and who he is, a guy who never gives up against all odds, no matter what.
And you can't just his friends. Yeah,
you can't just continue that franchise and pretend the guy doesn't exist. Oh, he fucking moved away. Oh, fucking whatever. Oh, he died. We're not going to show it. Whatever. You can't fucking do it. To me, it's like, that guy is a powerhouse. Like, he is an important human being. He's a motivational human being. They got statues of him, literally.
Yeah.
You can't take a guy like that and just pretend he doesn't exist because it's convenient. You have to do it right. If you're not going to close the chapter, don't make another fucking chapter.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's
but
it.
Anyways.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. On to other news.
Okay.
Snyder Cut news. Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah, I did see this one.
It's constant.
Very sexy.
It keeps happening. Did you guys see that fucking Dark Seed / Steppenwolf trailer today? Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh my god.
I felt like it was the first time I went down a roller coaster and my wiener got hard for some reason. My battery died.
Okay, you're a little frozen there. I'll wait till you get back before I. Hey. Psst, 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 psst.
I can still hear you sound like the bad guy from Jungle Book when you do that, like the snake.
I was trying to get Case Dish. She had her headphones up. But yeah, dude, that's not. And there's been a bunch of Snyder Cut news. We'll go through some of the images that came from it here today. But there's so much Snyder Cut news that it's hard to even keep up with it, because every day they're like, boom, fucking trailer, boom, trailer, character trailer, crazy fucking wacky shit. But today's was actually pretty goddamn, like, it was one of the best trailers I've seen today. the Darkseid / Steppenwolf trailer.
Yeah, it looked great, man.
Darkseid walks out of that fucking thing, just fucking
Like when I saw Darkseid, I was like,
I keep saying Seed. Yeah,
he would whoop Thanos' ass every day of the week. Okay.
He's way cooler.
Like, and I know MCU fanboys are gonna go crazy. Here's the thing. The thing about Darkseid is literally more powerful than Thanos. I'm not even talking about with the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm just talking about personal, like, based. His Apocalypse beams would fuck him up, dude. He looks so good, and like you could see what Snyder's going for. You could see it, and then Joss Whedon comes in and decides to put a big old dildo in the whole fucking operation. Why in the fuck would you leave that on the cutting room floor unless you're an inept director with a small wiener? Because you realize that the director that you were stepping into the shoes was better than you.
Yeah, exactly. Ryder says Mike talks so much shit on Jared in the Batman 89 commentary, so I'm triggered and pissed. That was on our Patreon. Keep that same energy. Let me start there, my friend. Ryder. Let me start there. Let's take a look at this picture right here. This was the first part of the Snyder news that came out, even though I know we were talking about the trailer, but this picture of Jared Leto as the Joker and Zack Snyder up in his fucking grill.
By the way, Omega beams. I meant Omega beams. I don't know if I said that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a delay for you, Jay, but you'll see it here in a second. This new shot of Leto as the Joker. Holy tit shits. Okay.
Behind the scenes on The Cure burn for the Crow.
I mean, that is so fucking pretty. Now, going back to real quick what we said about Leto as the Joker. I tweeted, or I put this on Instagram tonight. Joker went straight, all depending on director. Everybody wants to shit on Zack Snyder. The Joker went from, you got beef, to this fucking, one of the most interesting pictures I've ever seen of the Joker.
Yeah.
He's got the GCPD, the cops badges there.
It's scary looking.
He's got a Messiah thing going on with this whole like cult uniform. He's got this whole shit going on. That is the difference between now. What all the shit we talked about Jared Leto as the Joker was never about Jared Leto. It was about the Joker that him and David Ayer decided to put on screen. It was bad.
And 100%. Mike and I, we called that out early, dude. Like way before there was even a Suicide Squad whisper fart. Or that Jared Leto was even mentioned in conversation about being the Joker. We called out that Jared Leto would be an amazing Joker. What happened is they decided to go with the GTA 5 crackhound look with the fucking weird plated teeth with damage tattoo on his head and being like, just the standard 7-Eleven armed robber that you'll see at 3:00 in the morning on a Tuesday night. Instead, Jared Leto is a great actor. He is. He's an amazing actor. And we've always said, if given the right script and given the right context and given the right environment, he could have pulled off a really good Joker. I mean, we called that early. We called that early on. I mean, go back in the videos and look, man. I look at things like Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, the way that he portrayed that. And I'm just talking about his acting ability, the younger brother of Nicolas Cage in that. Amazing actor. Also, on top of that, he portrayed a great villain, a guy that looks like he smells like pee, but you never know what he's going to do in the most recent thing with Denzel Washington. And I'm like, where's that motherfucker? Yeah. That's the Joker that I'm talking about.
Bad character building traits that they built. They had a bad aura of the character as a whole, but that doesn't mean Jared Leto couldn't have pulled it off.
But the motherfucker, Jared Leto looked like a fucking extra character in Saints Row 4 on Xbox 360, the way they looked in Suicide Squad. But they've actually fixed him a little bit here because I think that, again, you know what? I don't know if it's the director. I don't know if it's the script. It could be both. I have no idea. But Zack Snyder knew how to get the most out of the character of Joker, and he's doing it 100% better than what you saw Jared Leto portrayed in Suicide Squad. Yeah. He's scary looking. He looks unpredictable. You have no idea what his story is, but he looks fucking freaky as shit. It looks like that band, like the Ghost or Ghost. their album. It looks like one of their album covers. You're like, I don't, or like a Rammstein album cover. You're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but I might buy it.
It's what I'm saying, and that's literally what I put out there. I was like, he went from we got beef guy to one of the most interesting things about the film, just based on just the director, and not shitting on David Ayer. David Ayer, I respect him as a director. I loved End of Watch, but he has a way of taking characters and making them really one-dimensional, just like gangster dudes. You know, he
I
does
feel like David.
that.
You know, look, David Ayer had his idea about what he wanted from the Joker, but I feel like it was so substandard. I feel like he was trying to chase a Quentin Tarantino coattail. That's what you got, and I think that also there was some studio involvement. And like, well, we got to make the Joker in love with Harley Quinn, and we got to add all this bullshit in. Yeah. And maybe he gave into the pressure. Now, again, I don't know. We weren't there. I don't know that dude at all, David Ayer. But you look at the performance of Heath Ledger, and then you come into a performance of Jared Leto in the Suicide Squad, and it's like, what the fuck were you doing? Yeah. I mean, there's not even there's not even like a moment in your brain where like, oh, this is so fucking good. Oh my God, I love it. Not one time did it happen. Then you have a picture like this with what Zack Snyder did with a very little amount of time with masks on, and makes a fucking, like, not only a good looking Joker, but a compelling Joker. Like somebody you like, I want to like really see what's going on now, like with the Joker. Like, I mean, he doesn't have like fucking plated teeth, and he's not like damn beef and wee. You don't have that shit. Like I'm actually interested to see what's going on, behind his crazy eyes. Yeah, man. Like it looks fucking good, and again, Darkseid showing up is the icing on the cake. He looks amazing. Again, it really, you know what I hope happens? I hope this fucking movie takes off in a way that nobody suspected. I hope this thing goes like stratosphere. I hope it makes so much fucking money that people, the old dumb white assholes, those fat bastards that hold their cocks at night, wishing they had a woman to put it in that wasn't paid for, realizes that the amount of money and attention that it's getting, they actually give Zack Snyder the green light. Continue your vision, sir.
Yeah.
And whatever you want, have it, because it looks so good so far.
And let me say this. If if you're going to be in the chat and this is a place for everybody to have fun, not fight. There's enough fighting on the internet. There's enough bullshit to go through like that. If you're going to be in the chat and you're just going to sit there and you're going to make constructive criticism, fine. We're not above anybody saying, hey, you look like you're a piece of shit, Mike. That's fine. But if every single line you make is going to be fucking negative and you're just trying to start shit with people in the chat and with us, Vanessa is in the chat. She's going to boot your fucking ass out. So, you know who you are.
Guys.
Fucking stop it. We're here to have fun and enjoy each other. There's enough hatred in the world. Fucking stop. All right? Fucking done with it. No drama. Quit. And that's it.
Yeah, I don't even know. Don't cause drama in the chat. You will be removed. Yeah, and that's fact. I mean,
I'm out.
We're happy to have any kind of dissenting opinions. I mean, for sure. I mean, that's the whole point. We're not cancel culture here. We like to have conversations, about different opinions. But if you're just gonna be an asshole, you're gonna definitely have a poker shoved up your asshole, and you're not gonna be welcome anymore in this community. Yep. Anyway,
we're gonna have a good time. Goddammit. That's all we're trying
to
do.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Nah, I'm not gonna give it credence by calling it out. I'm just saying, fucking keep going, fucking out. Okay, all right. Chap.
All I was saying was like Jared Leto. Jared Leto
take Chap out. You're fucking done, dude. Bye. Vanessa, will you please take Chap out of there if you're still on here? You're fucking done. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead, Chad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, I want to take Mike out. Vanessa, can you take Mike out right now? Take that asshole out. That fucking piece of shit right there that thinks he's badass.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, come on, don't be an asshole, guys. Anyway, all I was saying was, and again, we understand there's dissenting opinions, and I'm sorry that you guys don't agree with it, but there's a big old flyer on the wall that says "suck my cock," and you can do it any day of the week because I don't care. But the point being is that I think that Jared Leto is a great actor, and I'm glad they're giving his comeuppance in Zack Snyder's version, because I feel like, and I'm happy for the old asshole that hangs out in deserts that doesn't know about the pandemic. Like he comes in after smoking peyote. I don't. Was there a pandemic?
he is a weird fucking dude.
Yeah,
Which don't get me wrong, I respect his fucking.
Yeah,
weirdness,
I do, and I like him. I like him in some way. I've heard he's an asshole. I don't know for sure, but I think he's a good actor, and I'm glad that he gets an opportunity to shine with a director that respects the character.
Yeah,
a little bit more than I'm not saying that David Ayer didn't respect the character, but maybe a little bit more in line with the dark kind of Joker personification that he was going for. I'm really excited to see what he can do. Will he ever be on the same level as Heath or Joaquin? No, not even close. But
and he won't have enough time in this movie to really do. I mean, because he's only in one scene, right?
Yeah, but the fact that the fact that Zack Snyder went out of his way to film that, to give him that opportunity, because I know that for a while, Jared Leto was talking about like, well, you know, all my shit was cut. Nobody got to see the true version of what I wanted. And I'm like, if you're just talking about the ramblings like in Locked Up Raw guy, yeah. I don't want to watch it. Like, because honestly, in the David Ayer version, if he had more scenes, I felt like I was watching the special of Locked Up Raw holiday season. When it had a serial killer talking about, I didn't mean to kill her. I just, you know, she got in my way. But at the same time,
yeah, dude,
I like to kill. I like to kill a lot.
I do. I really mean this.
Ooh, I like to kill a lot.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Hey, do that again. Do that again, Jay. But this time, go. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you real bad.
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. I went to the I angled it. Yeah, I angled it. But yeah, again, Jared Leto's a great actor, man. He really is, and I really feel bad that he didn't really get to show. It feels like that one kid's like, dude, nobody understands. I threw like 100 perfect passes in practice, and nobody got to see it. Nobody got to see it. So now you have the opportunity. So I hope he blows it out of the water, man. I hope I hope after Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out, we're all gonna be like praising Jared Leto's cock. Like we're just talking about how great of a Joker he is, and we can't wait to see more.
Yeah, that was really good, by the way. That was fucking awesome, dude. And we are going to talk about the Dark Seat thing. I know we're caught up on talking about the Joker now. Jeff Harris says, I don't know if you guys covered this in previous streams, but are you guys getting the Batman comic of the continuation of the Burton universe this year? Yes, I plan on fucking buying that. The 89 Batman comic book. And they're also doing the old school Superman Christopher Reeves comic book. I plan on at least getting the first issue just to hold it in my loins.
I did hear about the Christopher Reeve continuation of the comic books. I don't know, man. It's been a while though since I've actually gone to the comic book store and bought a comic.
Yeah, well, I want to have the first one at very least. I don't know if I'll continue the whole story. I might just read it online, but I want the first one for sure. Just to hold in my crutches.
Hey, Mike, what happens when you get hate mail from chat? You son of a bitch.
Wait, what?
You're gonna get hate mail from Chap. He's gonna email. Okay. He's gonna email. We watched movie 2 at Gmail. By the way, if you want any requests or anything like that done, make sure you email. We watched a movie 2 at Gmail. And when you want to complain, email. We watched a movie.
Thank you, Jay.
I don't care.
Thank you for that.
I don't care.
I put them in my closet. I call them keepers. Daniel Marquis says, Michael J, I can't thank you enough for your talent. My favorite video was the Ma video, Michael sitting on the toilet, totally sitting. Oh, you remember the sitting on the toilet?
Yeah, that lady is a national treasure and needs to be protected at all costs.
Yeah,
but the fact that she did it sitting on the toilet, sitting on the toilet, sitting on the toilet. She's
dude, the second we saw that video, I was like, dude, we gotta do a Michael video.
It was so good. It was so fucking perfect.
We have to. That was great. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And then Gypsy Warrior says, I've asked this before, but any hope at all of seeing Robin in the Snyder cut? Would love to see Zack's take on Scarecrow and Two-Face. I don't think you're gonna see it. But there is some. If you're gonna add Joker stuff in there, you guys remember the early teasers of BVS. And the Robin thing that he had in his fucking tomb thing, where it had the Joker's writing on it, maybe he goes, I'm going to try to tie that in real quick. That could happen. But I mean,
we know that damaged Affleck's Batman for sure because it's Jason Todd. that got beat to death with the crowbar by Joker, which they're obviously saying that Leto was the same Joker that did that. If they show a flashback, I don't think that Snyder will go that far to show a flashback of him doing it, but maybe it's mentioned when Batman walks up and be like, "You couldn't save your own boy Wonder.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You couldn't save your own boy Wonder, so you come to me, and I have a cult." Yeah, you can have something like that. Do you know Jason Todd?
But no, in other Snyder Cut news, also stuff that happened that we didn't get a chance to talk about. The Snyder Cut accidentally got released on.
I didn't even know that.
It was so.
I didn't even know that.
Dude, it was so fucking weird. So a bunch of people went to click on Tom and Jerry on HBO Max, and instead got the goddamn Snyder Cut.
Oh
no, they got the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut just started playing for like thousands of people.
The boner that I would have had would have reached like Jupiter, but then again, I would turn it off because you don't fucking spoil it.
Dude, do you know how badly I wished I would have fucking wanted to watch that goddamn fucking piece of shit Tom and Jerry movie? Shit. I saw, I was like, oh, Tom and Jerry's out. I don't care. Dude, we could have clicked on it. We could have had all the majesty.
I know, we could have had like the first hour, but then again, we've been assholes too.
I mean, I wouldn't have shared it with people. I would have just watched it for my own giddings.
I do. I'm not gonna lie that I wouldn't have done it too. And me and Mike and Cody would have like, oh my god, did you see what I? By the way, Gypsy Warrior says Zack confirmed it's Grayson who died. By the way, Dick Grayson. Oh, okay, so in the future in the Batscape. Okay, that makes sense. I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, yeah, dude. I heard about that, and I was like, where the fuck was I? Because I mean, but then again, I wouldn't have clicked on Tom and Jerry to watch it because I don't have kids or anything. Well, so I wouldn't have clicked on it. I'm not saying that if you like Tom and Jerry that you have to have kids to watch it, but
I hesitate to say this because I don't want to piss off the people at WB. Okay, because we're trying to get a Snyder Cut. We're trying to get a Snyder Cut.
I want that 4 hour. I want that 4 hour dick in my butt.
Yeah, we're trying to get a. We're trying.
I want that.
I want that dick in my butt too. We're trying to get we're trying to get a screener for it so that we can review it for you guys before it comes out. And also, we were trying to get a Zack Snyder interview, and eventually they said maybe, and then they said nah.
What the hell?
They were like, he doesn't have time, but if you want to, you can.
Did they say that?
No. What they said was we can't get you the Snyder interview, but they said we can let you in on this table interview with Deborah Snyder, where there's going to be all these other media people present. And I was just like, that's not really what we do.
Tell Zack I've got a black suit that I'm ready to wear if he doesn't let me in. Let me in your fucking house.
Which we totally get was that because the movie's coming out.
Let me in your fucking house.
That was dude. That was me when I saw a response from the Zack Snyder people, and I was like,
"Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's how it looks, man."
And then, but
like the Truman Show, it zooms in on your face.
Yeah, it was disappointing in the end. They were like, "You can't do it," but they didn't say what John Carpenter's people was. This was like, "Fuck you, dude." They were like, "Hey, he really doesn't have time." Which I
John Carpenter totally get. Hey, do you want to go on an interview with We Watched the Movie? Look, dude. It's John Carpenter. Hey, do you want to go on an interview with We Watched the Movie? They're internet fans, YouTube. No.
That is legitimately, dude. That is dead on. By the way, years ago, when I was at a Comic-Con, and I went up to Michael Bean and I said, we had like 12 subscribers, and I walked up to his empty goddamn booth. By the way, apparently I don't know why his booth was empty, but it was empty. And I went up to his empty goddamn booth at Comic-Con, and I went up to Michael Bean and I said, "Hey man, I'm a huge fucking fan."
I wish I'd been there for that, dude.
I said, "I'm a huge fucking fan, dude." I said, and this is Michael Bean. Just watch me, right? Just like
I can see your dumb shit ass walking up too.
No, this is Michael Bean just sitting in his empty goddamn booth with no fans. And I walk up and I'm like, "Hey man, I'm a huge fan. We have this up and coming YouTube channel." I was like, "Can we please, could I have an interview? Just like 2 minutes of your time." Obviously there's nobody in your fucking line. Yeah. Nobody gives a shit what you have to say. And then I just like, I want to interview, and he goes, this is him listening to my whole speech. He goes,
Dude, I would have laughed my ass off. Yeah, I can see it. It's like asking Charles Barkley if you could play pass around with him at the local fucking park.
That's exactly what
Like
he
if
fucking
you were
did to
like
me,
if
dude.
you were like if you were in your local park and you saw, you know, Charles Barkley shooting hoops and you walk up to him and be like, "Hey man, can I shoot some hoops?" And you'd be like, "No." Like it's just like,
not Michael Bay, Ryan. Not Michael Bay. Michael Bean from Tombstone and Aliens. That guy.
and then Mike looked like this. How come you catch him?
My exact reaction, dude. My exact reaction was, "All right, see you later, bye."
Dude, it's the worst.
I ran the fuck away. I just ran.
People don't know, man. The worst when you get turned down for anything, it's the worst ever.
Yeah.
How you react, because you're like, we talked to Jake Busey and we were trying to record that shit, and he was like, "So I don't really give interviews because I might talk negative about directors." So
you're Jake Busey.
And I'm like, yeah, I was like, yeah, dude. I was just gonna ask you a couple like standard questions. That, you know, we don't have to film it. And he was like, "Well, then go ahead." I'm like,
but I secretly filmed it.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, and he was like, I just said like, if you were gonna be a superhero cast in a movie, who would you be? He's like, well, a lot of people say I look like Green Lantern. Like you. Dude, your ass smells from here. I can smell that whole ass here. And he was a douche. Like he was a total douche, and he was there to cover for his dad because his dad didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake Busey, I was like, the most I'd ever saw you in was Starship Troopers and fucking The Frighteners.
Yeah.
But go fuck off. Like I was like, dude, I'm not asking. Like, I mean, I think he thought we were gonna ask him, like, do you think that James Cameron has a small wiener?
It's amazing, dude. And the reason we bring this shit up is because it's amazing. If you just walk up to people at a con and you don't have like, "Oh, my channel has this many subscribers," they don't know who the fuck you are, literally everyone will be a dick to you. Everyone will be a complete fucking dick to you. And even now, like when you try to reach up to the upper echelons and you're like, "Hey, look, you know, we did some things," and they're like, "Nah, fuck you via email."
Dude, I'm not gonna name the guy
via email.
I'm not gonna name the guy.
The Halloween franchise guy, the old ass fucking guy.
Yeah, we're not gonna name that guy. I'm not gonna name that guy, but I swear to God, dude.
Nobody in his fucking line at the fucking convention.
We tried. We were in early, and we were being very respectful. We were being very nice, and we came in like we asked for a very basic 5-minute interview.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, "No." He's like, "I'll be here Sunday though. If you guys are gonna be here Sunday," I'm like, "I'm here right fucking now, motherfucker, and we have press passes. So give me what I want." And he was like, "I'll be here Sunday." I'm like, "God, did this motherfucker think that we were GD Rock 101 come to interview him about nobody gives a shit?"
Well, it's funny because like, and again, like, don't get me wrong, like the fact that Zack Snyder doesn't have the time to do an interview with us, oh my God, I didn't expect anything else. Like, totally, right? Like,
yeah,
you're Zack fucking Snyder. This is a crazy time. Of course you don't have time to do an interview with us. I was just asking to just like see if I got lucky and won the goddamn lottery. Fucking fully understand. John Carpenter, fully understand. But when you're talking about a 17th rate fucking D plus butthole fucking F minus movie actor,
do not say who he is.
That is in a goddamn convention in the middle of the goddamn Midwest at 2 p.m. on a Saturday and got nobody in your fucking line, and you won't even like talk to us for 2 minutes because you think you're hot shit. That's why you got nobody in your fucking line, bro.
It was the worst too, because me and Mike were standing there like, you know, virgins ready to give our vaginas away at Mount Tepata, and he turned us away because we were ugly, and like I turned back to Mike. I'm like, he said no. Mike was like, "I know, I'm holding the camera." I'm like, "Let's just run away, Wayne. Let's just run away." And we just like ran out of the building. And there was another guy that we smoked a cigarette with one time, and we tried to get an interview with him, and he's a popular dude, and we were like, "Hey man, can we get a really quick interview?" And he was like, "I'll blog you. I'll blog you." I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" I literally said, "I don't know what." I said, I didn't say I don't know what the fuck that means. I said, "I don't know what that means," because he's like, "I'll blog you. I'll blog you." When he was walking in, I'm like, "I don't know what that means. What does that even mean?"
That's what I do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, God, don't get me wrong. I understand why these people are at these conventions. I understand the conventions. I understand the entire thing. But sometimes you gotta fucking look yourself in the mirror and be like, I was in a movie 30 goddamn years ago. I'm sitting here, I'm charging fans $60 a pop after
Yeah,
they
dude,
paid
for sure.
$40 for tickets to come to this fucking convention, and I'm gonna have the nerve to charge them $30 a fucking autograph when I was in a scene for 2 seconds in a movie 30 goddamn years ago and haven't done a goddamn thing since. I mean, have a little fucking perspective.
You know what?
If someone wants to cover your fucking story, listen to what the fuck they got to say. You know, that's all.
You know what? There's two moments. There's three actually at a con that we had experience that were okay. One was the Travis dude from Fire in the Sky was one of the best dudes
nicest guy ever, man.
And we interviewed him for 5 minutes or whatever, and that dude seen some shit. When we talked to him, I was like, God damn, that guy knows. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. That motherfucker went to Jupiter's asshole or something. Like, that guy knows. Like, he's seen some shit.
He's a cool dude, too. He's
nice. He was awesome. He was a really nice, really giving guy. And there was nobody in the line yet. Because we had press passes. Really nice, cool guy. Really easy to talk to. And then there was another con that we went to, and Skull and Burke or whatever, Bulk and Skull from Power Rangers. Mike and I were walking out of the convention floor, and I just thought these were two assholes because me and Mike were drinking alcohol, and they were like, "Where'd you buy that?" Oh, and I'm like, "Yeah, well, there's a thing called a bar. You should go and check that out." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know they were serving it. You can walk around the convention floor." And then I looked over like, holy shit, that's fucking Skull from Power Rangers. And Bulk was talking to Mike. Super nice dudes. Awesome dudes. And it took me a second to realize it because my brain had been soaked in alcohol for a while. I'm like, holy shit, that's Bulk and Skull. And then we looked and then we got all stalker. We got like Michael Myers, like,
oh shit.
We're like, they going outside to fucking smoke. We're gonna go outside to smoke too. and they didn't do it. And the third thing that was really the kid that played Fool in People Under the Stairs.
Nice.
Mike was getting really nice dude. Mike was getting all the sandwich. Mike was getting an Arby's sandwich, and I was waiting in line like the cordial girlfriend that I am. So Mike could get his sandwich, and we could go to our table together. And that dude stepped up to the left of me, and I knew he was, but I was like, hey man. Yeah, they're crazy right now because I was trying to make a normal conversation. And I was like, they're crazy right now. There's so many people trying to get the big Buford sandwich or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I like that Arby's sandwich. I like that regular shit. And we were just talking. And then I was like, by the way, man, I really loved you and your work. You did really good. He's like, thanks, man. We probably could have got an interview off of it, but I didn't have any camera equipment or anything like that. So,
and that's all it boils down to is like, you got some people that understand the way the world works, right? Like, and don't get me wrong, when we go to any of these things, we don't expect nobody's indebted to us. Action 6 says offer compensation. Action, I'm not going to fucking pay somebody who was in a movie for 12 goddamn seconds back in 1972 and hasn't done shit since to fucking talk to me about the movie when we're going to put it out to more people that they can. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about this specific person that we're talking about. Like,
that guy was an asshole. That guy was a pure fucking asshole, dude.
If I'm a person who was in a movie fucking 40 years ago and haven't done anything since, and they are paying me to go around to different conventions and charge $20 for a fucking autograph, I'm not going to be rude to the people who come up, pay for an autograph, and then ask a question. To me, that is just like the worst kind of fucking just like disrespect to people. Like that's just like you and me. We go somewhere. If someone recognizes me at a restaurant, I go, "Holy fucking shit, dude! Can I buy you dinner? Like, can I buy you? Can you tell my kids you know who I am? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a
ridiculous,
way to go
Mike.
about
You only
things.
get recognized a couple of times. Jesus. I mean, Jesus, dude.
Like, I couldn't imagine 40 years from now someone coming up to me and being, dude, I watched your channel. It's 2042. Someone goes, I watched your channel back in 2001. I really loved it. Could I ask you a couple questions? And me going, you got any money? I'd be like, oh my God, you care? Fucking cool, man. Thanks. Nobody else cares. Thanks. Here's the thing.
I understand that some of these people don't make a lot of money anymore, and they're riding on what they did in the past to get their bills paid at conventions. I get that, But if you're gonna be a complete jerk or an asshole
Yeah.
about like, I understand. Like I get it. Like, you're trying to make a little living off of this. But here's the thing. I'm not gonna pay you money to fucking talk to you. I mean, fuck you. And I'm not gonna pay you money to fucking hang out with you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just a dude. You put your dick in the fucking underwear the same as all of us. And you had a movie that was popular, 85 years ago. Either way, if you understand that these people are interested in putting a little interview together with you and they're going to put it on the internet for you and you're going to get free publicity for you, I don't know where I know your brain cells are probably dried up because you've been snorting coke since 1961, but maybe you should fucking figure that out. But that was the one approach that we had that pissed me the fuck off, because that guy was so dismissive. He was such a fucking complete asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, you just know assholes, dude. This is the kind of guy that if his fucking plane got delayed from Atlanta, he would have a freak out Karen video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, well, can you tell me why my plane is delayed? Is it because I don't wear a mask? Is that why? It be some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And I really at that point, I'm like, dude, you're so fucking lucky that you got to be a part of a franchise that you really don't have any right to be a part of, because you're a fucking tool bag. But you're lucky to be a part of it, and all he wanted was a couple of minutes with your time. But the fact that you're a complete douche, I don't know. I guess I'm going to leave you alone. But you'll never be as popular as you ever will. Like, this is the moment. I hope you enjoy it. I fucking hate motherfuckers like that, dude. Like, I hate any celebrity like that. Here's the thing: you get paid fucking money to entertain people on stage or in the movies. That's your fucking job. That's your job, bro. That's what you do, right? So if people come up, honestly, if I were a celebrity on the level of some of these other celebrities, I wouldn't charge a fucking dime for a picture. I wouldn't charge a dime for a fucking autograph. Right. I might charge the convention to get to me to be there. And I understand that some of these people need the money, but at the same time, you may be relying on tips. But the fact that anybody would come up to me after a movie that I did 45 years ago that would still be giving a shit, I'd be like, dude, I'll go hang out with you at fucking Red Lobster.
On one hand, I understand, piggybacking off what you said there. I get it that you were in a movie and a lot of these people who are at these conventions, that is their main source of income now. Maybe for whatever reason they're not able to continue acting, and doing the conventions is their main source of income. So I understand charging for an autograph, right? And your appearance fees or whatever that may be. I do get that part. I do get it. Hey man, this is what I do for a living now. And it is what it is. But at the same time, if someone comes up to you and they say, hey, we want to put your name out there a little bit, we want to help you do this or whatever it is. Even if you say no, there's a way to fucking say no. You just say, hey, I appreciate you guys asking, but the problem is that I do these every week. This is what I do for a living. And, if I do that, then I'll have to say yes to this person, that person, this person. All I'm saying, and we have, dude, even our little dumbasses with the fucking 100,000 subscribers, oh, big goddamn deal. We have to fucking say,
we're grateful for all of you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, we know we're not big shit. So we have to say no to certain things sometimes, because it's hey, we have to concentrate on this, we have to concentrate on that. But there's a way to be
nicely. We're not trying to be assholes.
That's all I'm saying. There's a way to say it in a nice and Michael Bean, he's a little bit bigger. He can say no to me and be a dick. That's fine. Fuck him. But I'm not talking about him. But
he also wore a homeless man's pants without underwear. So he has all the cred in the world.
He doesn't need to be fucking nice. But certain people that are at those conventions, you got to understand, man, this isn't given to you. This isn't owed. If you're going to say no to somebody, fine. But be a gentleman about it. Don't be a fucking dick. And I'm sure that they get people that come up and go, I have, but that's the thing. You had to put yourself in those shoes. And I try to put myself in the shoes too. And if I'm walking around and some guy comes up to me in Walmart and goes, hey, can I take a picture with you? I'm not going to go no, because Patreon's paid for that. You know what I mean? And if I do, if I'm that full of myself to say fucking no, I'm at least, I would never be, but if I was, I would at least be
we got a lot of fans in where you live.
I can't fucking, no, I've only been noticed in public 4 times my entire life, and every single time I was like, can I please come home with you and make
the only
dinner?
time I remember getting recognized when we were at the Halloween screening for 2018, and that big ass fucking dude came up to us, and I thought he was gonna beat our ass.
No, we were at the movie theater in Richmond that one time, and that dude who worked there knew who you were. You remember that?
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah, but here's the thing, Mike. Just talking about what you're saying, like, dude, it doesn't pay to be nice, but it's like the right thing to do. Like, I mean, I don't know, like it's pretty easy to be fucking nice, and yeah, I'm not gonna, like, if someone's like, "Hey, B. Loomis, and put your finger in my butt," I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it unless there's a fee. Yeah. Unless it's like, hey, for $50, I'll do it. But but honestly, it's one of those things. It's like, and me and Mike are like so low level anyway. But even if I were, but if I had appeared in a movie that everybody loved, and I was a main character in it, and that's what they were coming there for, I would not turn my fans away in such a dismissive, bitch mode. Like, your Princess Peach and Mario Brothers. Like, I'm sorry, Mario, but you're too late. I've already married King Koopa. Like, I think it's one of those things. Like what pisses me off is, like, dude, you've got the greatest job in the world. Your job is to be an actor, which is fucking awesome, right? Yeah. And you also appeared in a movie that everybody fucking loves. That's cool. And if you never got another role in your life, but you have this one role that everybody recognizes, and they just want to gravitate towards you and hang out with you because it was so meaningful in their life for whatever reason, and you're a fucking asshole about it, you got, here's the fucking news drop for you. Without that role, you're a piece of fucking shit that's working at McDonald's flipping burgers. That's the reality.
Yeah. And not that there's anything wrong with that either, but you're not going to McDonald's acting like you're big king shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was
I'm not saying that if you flip burgers at McDonald's. I'm just saying, like these people act like they're somehow royalty, and they're not. Yeah. You're not a fucking royal king. You're not like, I shouldn't have to come to you, oh my God, take my money, please, child. No, fuck that. Like, fuck that. And you can make money, and I get it.
And there's so many of these actors that were in these movies that are at these conventions that are the nicest fucking people.
They really are. They're really nice ones.
They sign autographs for free. They take pictures for you. They're the nicest fucking people ever. And they're so fucking cool. And they appreciate the situation that they're in. What we're talking about is there is a taken advantage of situation going on with horror conventions. And that is just the facts. There are, and not just horror, but Power Rangers. You got a guy in a fucking 17th series of Power Rangers that fucking two people watch, charging $80 for a fucking autograph, being dicks to his fans. I mean, come on, guys. Like, man, be thankful that we are in the internet world that we're in, where people buy tickets to these conventions. They're paying you outlandish amounts of money to take pictures with you, to do all this shit with you. All you have to do is be nice. And if you have to say no to somebody, I get it. Somebody comes up and they say, hey, I want an autograph for free. No, thank you. I can't do that because I've got all these people in line and they're paying, and it would be rude for me to give you an autograph for free or to talk to you for free. There's a way to speak to people. And all I'm saying is that Jay and I have ran into a couple people at our horror convention days where it's like, hey, man, it's got... For me,
I've drank beer on camera 4 times now. God damn.
It's got to be pretty cool, man, to be in a movie 40 years ago, to not have a role since, and to be traveling around the world like a fucking rock star, charging $20 an autograph and having people lining up to meet you. Man, take that in and be like, I am lucky. I'm not going to be a fucking dick about it. That's all we're saying.
And I'm sorry. I mean, I know some of you guys popped in and you guys aren't interested in our rants, but yeah. That's one of the few things that really pisses me off, man. And Mike and I don't get mad about a lot of shit, like, at all. I don't, cancel culture sucks and stuff like that, but we don't get into political stuff. And we try to, avoid that kind of topic. And it has nothing to do with what we're getting ready to talk about, or what I'm going to talk about. But the fact is that you're so blessed to be in a position in your life, that you bring joy to a lot of people that you don't even know, you've never met in your life, that go to a convention, they spend the fucking money to come see you. Yeah. You're going to be such a fucking asshole, a self-absorbed tampon, that you're going to either charge them money they can't afford, or be an asshole when they ask you to do one thing that maybe I'm not comfortable doing it, Diane. You are the epitome of what's wrong with the world today. Yeah. The fact is, if I were as blessed as you had been to be in a movie that people loved, I would be fucking thrilled, floored. The fact that anybody would come and want to meet me or hang out with me for 2 seconds. And fuck charging for autographs. I mean, it's my goddamn name. You sign it on your fucking bills every day, you piece of shit. Well, you fucking think about here's the thing.
To be fair, though, I mean, some people make their living doing this now, so I understand the autograph part.
No, either way, the fact is, you're gonna pay $100 for an autograph. You're out of your fucking mind.
Well, I'm talking like 25, 35.
Yeah, in the bottom range, fine. If you're gonna pay $100 for an autograph, you're out of your fucking mind. It's a fucking signature. It's another human being signing their fucking name on a piece of paper, and that somehow is fucking what? I mean, that's worth $100. It's stupid. My point being is like, I wish some of these celebrities, I really do, would just be grateful for the movies they've been in. And just be happy that people still remember them. That would be the best thing ever. Is the fact that you started a movie in 1977 or in 1981 that people love still, and they come to your show to hang out with you. And you should. I'm not saying that you shouldn't charge money for pictures or whatever, but I'm saying don't be an asshole when you're out walking around to go to the bathroom and it's like, hey, can I get your autograph? Like, I think you need to see me at my booth.
Right. Well, I know exactly what you're saying, but to be fair, like if some of these people were in these movies so many years ago, and they have to afford to be able to go on these treks across the country, and basically them charging for autographs and pictures is them paying to show up at these events, because you know, like if you and I were to go to Kansas right now, it would cost us $1,000. Because we would have to pay to go, and then there's time being there, and then all that stuff like that. So them charging for autographs and pictures.
Well, they also get paid by the convention themselves.
Well, we don't know. You don't know. It depends on the convention.
I'd say 100%.
But the smaller stars probably don't get to pay that much. So, like, no, I understand them charging for autographs, and I understand, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if somebody comes up and they can't afford it or whatever, or like, you got to understand that, like, hey, I'm thankful that you're a fan. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. All I'm saying is just be nice to people. Don't be fucking dismissive and be rude. If you come up to me and I'm at a fucking Walmart and I'm holding one kid who's got a shit and I'm trying to take her to the restaurant or whatever, and you say something to me, I go, hey, you need to go get your WAM card or whatever. Like, I'll fucking hold my kids here and wait for you to go home and drive back to Crow to get it. Like, for me, whenever we're lucky enough to have someone recognize who we are, we really appreciate.
You've gotten recognized way more than me.
I've only been recognized like
100%. Like Mike's got recognized me like based on Instagram and shit like that. 65% more.
I'm out in the world a lot more than you are. Though I've probably been recognized 6 times my entire life.
Yeah, well, it's more than me. The fact is, if you recognize me at all, like it's like spotting a gold chocobo in Final Fantasy VII. if you fucking geeks understand that, then more power to you. And I hope you see your tit one day.
If you recognize me, I get weird. I'm like, can I come to your bar mitzvah?
I get like, I'll be like, they'll be like, hey, you're Jay from We Watch the Movie. Like, yeah, I am. I mean, do you want me to go sit in your car?
Can I watch your dogs?
It's like, they're like, hey, can you do Dr. Loomis like right now? I'll do it. I don't care. But we're in public. I've only got recognized a few times. But I've also been playing the safe card for me. I stay at home a lot, so I don't really go out too much. But even when I had gone out, I didn't get recognized a lot.
Mike White Jr. said, as Rambo said, fuck them.
Yeah. No, I don't care. No, I don't care. I mean, people, if I was maybe wearing a trench coat and walking around, maybe. But yeah, man, I just feel like there's like it's common courtesy, man. It's common courtesy to treat people that take their time to meet you and want to hang out with you. And I'm not talking about the weirdos. I understand there's fucking weirdos. There's fucking like, yeah, well, he's our hero, like in Saving Silverman. Like, you know, I get that there's fucking weirdos like Steve Zahn. Like they were obsessed with what was it, Diamond?
Lou Diamond Phillips?
No, fuck. Anyway, they were obsessed with that one singer. But yeah, I get that, but I don't know, man. I'm appreciative of all you guys. I think that you guys are amazing. And if you recognize any of us out in public, I think that's not a hassle. That's fucking awesome. I'll take the fucking whole day for you. Like, I'm like, all right, well, yeah, like, let's go set it up. Let's get, like, you want to do a Loomis skit? We'll go do a Loomis skit. I don't know where you're taking me. Is it a weird farm in the middle of the fucking northern streets? I'm like, well, I gotta text Mike so that he knows where I am.
Yeah.
So if you wind up trying to fucking cut me up and eat me, I know where.
And we've been doing this for almost 10 years. We weren't in a movie for 12 seconds once in 1982. All I'm saying is, and the only thing I'm saying is, charge autographs, charge pictures. I get it. That's how some people are making a living, and I respect it. I'm not trying to shit on that. All I'm trying to say is, if you are in a lucky enough position to where you are somewhat of a celebrity because people are so passionate about horror and about Halloween, if you're lucky enough to be in that situation, fucking be nice to people.
100%.
No matter what the goddamn situation is, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't want to go on. They might look at you as a hero and they come to meet you at a convention and you're a dick to them and you fuck up their entire shit. Like, don't do it.
Isn't that weird?
That's all I'm saying.
Isn't that weird? Like, that's the quote of the day. Just be fucking nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Isn't that weird that people forgot how to do that?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It
like, that's
sure
all you got to
fucking
do
is,
is just be fucking nice.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's it. That's 100% it.
Pretty easy.
If I bump into you, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. But it's like if you go to a convention, these fuckers are like, do you have $50? I'm like, no, I don't. Then you ain't got no autograph.
Right, yeah. One time we were talking in front of, we were having a conversation in front of Kevin Nash's fucking table, and his publicist was like, are you guys gonna pay for an autograph?
Oh yeah, that.
You guys are having a conversation here in this space. Are you gonna pay for? We're like, dude, we're in the middle of fucking. That's what we're talking about. But anyways, let's go through the super chats because we gotta go. We're almost 3.5 hours deep already. Gypsy Warrior says, off topic, but are you hyped for Terry Silver?
Yeah, dude. There's a rumor going around that Terry Silver will be in Karate Kid season 3, and
I think that's a fact.
He's actually the dad of Tori.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good.
I like it. I like it.
I think he's in that bitch for sure. The Shape of the Shadows.
Bring it all to me. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Shape of the Shadows says, thank you for the super chat, by the way. It says, sup, Mike and Jay. Just want to say you guys are awesome. You guys make it fun and fun to be a part of the Wham family. I'm so happy to be a part of this amazing family you guys built. Love you guys and the Wham fam from me and Nikki. Hey, thank you for that. And thanks to Nikki.
Did you go ahead and pay our agents $50 for you to say that?
Yeah, we said your names out loud, so we're gonna need a picture of you naked.
At least $50.
Polaroid 100%. Style. No,
I love you. I love you. That. $50, bitch.
Really appreciate that, man. Thanks. Jesse McLaughlin says, hey, Lint Liquor, stuck here at work on my 12-hour overnight shift. Oh, I remember 12-hour shifts. Shit,
they're terrible. They're
That's
the worst.
Rough, dude. Could Loomis and Chalice give me some words of encouragement not to burn this place down? Love the content. Keep it up. 2 secs. I gotta get me a cup.
He's gonna go fill up his cup. He's gonna be drunk. I'll tell you this. Don't burn down your goddamn place of employment, you idiot. You know why? You're going to jail. You're going to be jail mates with Butch McGruff. And he's going to make your asshole an Irish Spring. And he's going to go in there. And he's going to make it his own personal safe space. Yes, work can be tough. Goddamn. Trust me, I know. You chase down Michael Myers, it's not easy. He's like a goddamn arch rival from the NBA arch rival game.
I'll tell you something, Jesse.
Shut up.
Hey. Boy,
I'm not done talking.
I'm a doctor.
You're not a doctor. You're a doctor of poop.
No. You're
you
a
got
doctor.
Your goddamn degree on Arizona Online.
I slept with your ex-wife.
Good luck for you. She had goddamn chlamydia.
Well, that's why I have it now.
I can see the bloop on your lip.
Yeah, it's true. I call it my old Dr. Loomis.
I call it disgusting.
Yeah, he yells at me just like you yell. Your breath stinks. Listen, Jesse. You want to burn the place down, just take a nap. All right? Go back in the doctor's lounge, take you a nap. You don't want to burn the place down. You want to smack some of your secretary's asses right there. Tell them to bring you a nice cup of applesauce.
That's called sexual harassment.
No,
Good luck in the 21st century.
No, not really, because they like it.
Okay.
And if they like it, then you know that they like it. And you could tell because they say, Dr. Chalice, you crazy. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to take a nap, even though people are bleeding out in the main room there. You just enjoy your night. And, you get off work, you go take in a nice baseball game. You have a hot dog. And tomorrow you go back in, even if dudes are in their car burning themselves alive with their fucking gasoline. That's a stupid question, Miss Grumpridge. It's late. We could use a drink.
That's
the whole
dumbest
thing.
Question that's ever been asked on this channel. Why don't you go back and drink some more and listen to those old 1978 MLB tapes? Shut the fuck up.
That's a good
Don't
time.
burn down your place of employment.
Last time you came over my house, Loomis, you and I had a good time listening to those old MLB tapes. And we had
we didn't try to burn down the fucking house.
I'm telling him not to burn it down, okay? I'm telling him not to burn it down.
That was a stupid question.
Hey, you need a Boilermaker, Dr. Loomis. We're both doctors.
You need an AA meeting.
Hey, I got Linda at home. What's your problem?
Yeah, Linda.
I got a reason to complain.
Signed you up for AA meeting.
I got a reason to complain, Loomis. What's your fucking problem? You got no Linda at home breaking your fucking balls all the time.
I don't need Linda at home. I could see your face and see all the goddamn torture that she's putting you through, and the fact that you got to go to AA meeting to be married to her.
Thank you. Is this because I slept with your sister?
You slept with my sister. She's been dead since 1962.
That sounds like a you problem, buddy.
Got the necrophilia.
I don't know.
Top of it.
It was Thirsty Thursdays.
Time to put down the booze and look at the news.
Hey, I didn't hear you complaining last week when you were having a rough time at the old hospital.
I didn't touch you. God damn.
I didn't say. You know what I mean. We had a good time. Had a couple of hookers.
Well, we did have a couple of hookers. I mean, one did look like Tina Turner.
Yeah. You liked that one. That was your favorite.
She was nice.
She was nice.
Don't burn down your goddamn house, idiot.
Base Machine Horror Show says, what's up, guys? Interesting theory. Michael's main target was Annie in part 1 on Halloween night. He's clearly talking to Linda Bob. Mace Machine Horror Show clearly missed the first part of the show. Let's give it up for Mace Machine Horror Show. Coming in, just raw dog in the second half of the show.
I got him. I got him right here. Ready? A boom, boom, boom. Well. I'll say a boom, boom, boom. Well.
We did a whole hour on that, Mace.
Yeah, you
gotta go back and watch.
You need to backtrack them, my sir.
Blood Red Sky says a random guy who got his butthole ripped inside out by Jason Voorhees was charging $50 an autograph. I'm good on that. That's
I am too. If I saw a guy that I'm gonna pass that over for $50. First off, the weird thing is I get the picture taking. I really do. I get the picture taking in a way. Mm-hmm. But the autograph thing always strikes my fancy weird.
I'm an autograph collector, so I understand the autographs. I really do.
But I was like, you're gonna charge money for what you sign on checks. I could just stalk you and go and find your old check receipts and have the fucking autograph.
But that's an overall philosophy problem with it. I mean, everybody charges for autographs, But
I just think it's weird. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I charge. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think I ever would. But I mean, then again, dude, if you and I are 60 years old and YouTube becomes a relic of the past and people get all nostalgic for YouTubers and you and I, some people do it. That's what they make a living on. And I appreciate. I'm not shitting on that at all.
I'm not shitting on it. I just
be nice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. You be respectful, man. Have some courtesy. Have some fucking courtesy.
Yeah, exactly. Dirk Jason Hall says, why so serious? Just kidding. Great He says, great scream, guys. You guys rock. You fucking rock, Dirk. We love you.
Yeah. Let's bring it home.
And then the final super chat of the night. Daniel Marquis says, Jay, can you say, don't let me drink alone?
What was that from?
Jay, I don't know. It just says, Jay, can you say, don't let me drink alone?
Yeah. I don't know what you want me to do it in, but...
Oh, wait, zoom in first.
I'm going to go. Hold on.
Hang on, let me make you big, too.
All right, hold on.
Actually, I can't. Well, let me. Hang on. Wait.
Don't make me drink
alone. Wait. I don't. Okay, there you go.
All right. Don't Don't let me drink alone.
That's
I'll
it.
try to hold on.
Sing boom boom boom. Let me see you as well.
Don't let me drink alone.
Sitting on the toilet.
I said boom boom boom. Let me say well. I said boom boom boom. Let me say well. Well.
Hey, G, let me talk for you. Like you in the stream, we're gonna end the stream this way. Let me just talk for you. Just like mime what I'm saying. Just mime like the old Raven skit that we did.
All right.
Remember that? All right, zoom into your face real quick.
What? Oh, the Raven. Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. It was a cold, dark night, and I was alone. But I was feeling something special rising in my genitals. And then I thought, why not make some spaghetti? Oh, but every time I make the spaghetti, you know what happens. I end up rubbing it all over my naked body. And then calling my sister Shekwa and asking Shekwa, why do I love spaghetti? Why do I love spaghetti so? You know why? Because you were part of the Noodle Makers group Force 5000. And you like meatballs. They're your favorite. Meatballs make you feel whole inside. Feeling the empty hole left by your spouse. The one who left you for the maker of Meatballs 5000. The one who made all the great meatballs. You know what you need? Some lotion. Some lotion on your nostrils. Rub it in. Yes, rub it deep inside. And then tickle your beard. Tickle it. Go ahead. Don't be scared. You know, I love the way
I was getting weirdly into it.
All right. Bye, guys. See you guys on Friday with Damien Maffei.
Davian Mafia coming in to charge us $50 for his autograph.